versus Capcom.
Yeah. Good afternoon out there on the tubes of you. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Gaming with Glacier. We are now live, L-I-V-E, with your host, the most froze and CEO of Glacier Mountain Comics, the future of indie comics, Glacier. Yeah. Gaming with Glacier. On today's episode, I feel like playing Marvel vs. Capcom Dose 2. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. See if I can make it to Galactus. I believe it's Galactus. I think he's the boss, but I think there's some like green radiation plasma guy before Galactus, like, you know, the first boss. So we'll see if we can get there. Okay, let's get this started. I think I might do a Punisher gaming stream with my kiddo later. Forgot, it's like beat 'em up, like TMNT. So it'll be a good gaming stream with the kiddo later. They got the Punisher somewhere over here. Yeah, right there. That's the Punisher. Oh, and they got the Japanese and English version. That's pretty fire. Alright, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. English version or the Japanese version? Let's just fucking do English. Alright. So, what are we gonna listen to? How about some Tarantino? Talking about the trilogy of the dead, all the dead movies. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. See, I'm gonna make my team. I'm gonna pick a killer lineup, murderers row. You know what I'm saying? Good afternoon out there on the tubes of you. If you're just tuning in, we're now live, L-I-V-E. Stay alert, eyes open. My debut comic book, HEADZ, with art by Christian Rossi, is being published. Announcements coming soon. Will be available for purchase soon. 60-page hardback, hardcover. Blaxploitation, gun fu, supernatural, super sentai, rom-com, snowmobiles, casinos, whores, drinking, smoking, whores, shootouts, kung fu, werewolves, zombies, whores, snowmobiles, whores. Yeah, the art is 100% completed. Now we just need a 2K to cover the lettering, the logo, and the cover art. Then it'll be available for purchase in places like Amazon.com, Walmart.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and in the Critical Blast Publishing bookstore. Yeah. Alright, let's get started. Okay, yeah. Holy fuck. Alright, let's pick my team. Let's press play on this Tarantino video. I could listen to Tarantino talk about movies all day. You know what I'm saying? And then after this, after we get through this 12 minutes, I'll probably just listen to Tony from Hack the Movies. He had Mint and Riley on to talk about Fantastic Four movies. So that should be a good time. Yeah. Alright. Who am I gonna make my team? Let's see. Oh yeah, for sure. Yoga Flame! Yoga Fire! For sure picking this man. Dasim. Fire-breathing, stretchy Indian. Yeah, he's from India, right? Whoa! This is some bullshit. What is this? Nah, fuck. It's picked my guys for me. What? How do I get out of this? This isn't gonna stand. I mean, Cable's pretty good. I have no idea who that other girl is. How the fuck do I pause this? Bro, this is fucked. How do I pause? Bro, there's no pause in this game? This is insane. Oh, fuck you, Cammy. I don't even know how to switch players in this game. I think I'm gonna have to change the buttons, bro. How do you even switch your guys? R1? L1? What the fuck? How do I bring Cable out? Oh, like that? Okay, so you gotta hold those two buttons together. Yeah, these buttons are different when you switch. That's why I've been playing this, because that's all I had it on was to switch. I got it now. Hope I do lose though, so I can pick my real team. But Cable's not bad, man. Cable's fucking... Yeah, Johnny Badass. I have no idea who this Ruby is, but she's a pirate woman. Yeah. Yeah. This is the last guy we got left, Charlie. See, this is what I never understood. I don't get why they would use Charlie. Blanca has never been in one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. Isn't that a shame? Like, you've never seen Blanca in any of the games. It's freaking bullshit, man. He's like the most... I think he'd be the one you want to put in the game the most. Right? Blanca versus Beast or something crazy like that. And instead we got Charlie as human form. God damn it, I won. Oh, I lost? Thank God. Why isn't the rematch working? Oh, there we go. Okay, let's pick my team for real this time. Dawson. Gambit. Dawson, Gambit. What was the other one? I know it wasn't Doom or Silver Samurai, even though they are good. Dawson, Gambit. I'm just gonna go with Iron Man. think it was Iron Man. Yeah! Turbo. Okay, now let's play the Tarantino video. Look at it, they got Father, Son, and Logan. Father, Son, and Wolverine. Wolverine. How do I play the Tarantino shit? There we go.
So with the Romero movies, there's some mythology there to explore. Night of the Living Dead, it's everybody, it just happened. And so they're trapped in a
that's
house.
bullshit. How did he block
Night
that?
of the Living Dead was actually a pretty interesting screening because I knew it was showing up on television. And I was at an adult party. It was when I was 16, saying I was older, working in a community theater. And I'd always wanted, what did you do at the community theater? Oh, I was acting in plays. But I was hanging around with adults. I said I was 8. So I could do the plays there. And so they were having one of their parties that Saturday night, and at 1 o'clock they were showing Night of the Living Dead. I finally see it. So I don't even know whose house this was. I went into the bedroom and turned on the TV, and I ended up watching it to the very end. And then when that was over,
fucking Gambit, hell yeah.
What did you think when you first saw Night of the Living Dead?
No, I thought it was fantastic, but I was blown away by the end. When Dwayne Jones gets killed, I was blown away. Yeah, these Pittsburgh actors, you spend so much time with them that their amateurness is the amateurness of the best kind, because they're not.
How do I get my third guy? I haven't even got to Iron Man yet.
George Romero,
there we go.
Such a terrific filmmaker, was that he was a legit regional filmmaker, and what made it special was the slightly homemade quality to the movie. And our mutual friend Elvis Mitchell has been working on this thing of the top 10 seminal basic black movies, for lack of a better term, starting in the late 60s and basically ending at the end of the 70s. His two bookends, and number 1 is Night of the Living Dead, and on the other end of the spectrum, the last official one is The Wiz. Come on, Dorothy! Come on! Come on, Dorothy! Come on! Come on, Dorothy! Come on! Come on, Dorothy!
No, not Gambit, come on. Damn it!
What do we think of these?
Oh my god.
You look like you're ready to walk the red carpet. No, stop it, really? Or at least a bow for a run. These are power pants. Yeah. Okay, what about this? Whoa! That's it. And that's how you roll.
Out of here, Bush.
Real results. Zero hassle. Iveen Health's personalized GLP-1 weight loss plans help you lose up to...
Also, the opening 20 minutes shows probably the most, to this day, most realistic version of a society under complete collapse. That television saying, somebody get that fucking asshole off the air. They are dead, they will rise, and they will kill. And the people will kill. I mean, that is the greatest exposition actor of all time. Because he's also in The Crazies, and he gives the greatest exposition in that, too. He was definitely one of Romero's real finds, that guy. So you just buy the complete breakdown of the society and what do we do and where do we go and what's going on, and not in this big giant scale World War Z kind of way, which I actually kind of like that movie, but in this real low budget margins of just like the media that's being projected on TV that you're seeing, and since it's all done in this public access kind of way, Romero kind of really nails it. People just tangentially doing their job before their jobs become irrelevant, and now they must survive. You see Romero people at the control panel. Yes, exactly.
You don't want the piece of the gumby.
How do you tell where was the place just overrun by zombies?
You want the gumby, Siri?
To me, the head explosion didn't really do it for me, because I actually think the coffee head explosion is even a little bit better, frankly, because you see the head in relation to her sawed-off shotgun and Pam Grier. The scene that makes you wonder, oh wow, can I even handle this, is when the project, when his wife, still alive, comes to her and embraces him, my baby, and then he just bites just a chunk out of her shoulder, and it just looks real. You buy it. It looks, if humans had shark-like mouths, that's probably the effect of what would happen if a sharky human bit you. And it just, in effect, we had never seen before, and it draws a line in the sand. Oh, am I ready for the rest of this? But then you also had the weird thing of, like, they've kind of controlled their world. They controlled it, and they've taken care of the zombies. They're outside. And there's not a way in. They've kept them out. They're in. Then the biker gang shows up. And they're worse than the damn zombies. You know, okay, this is human outlaw trash that has waited for society to take a flying fuck. All right, so it can just run rampant, and now they are, and they're running rampant. They're not even afraid of the zombies. They make fun of the zombies. You ever had that moment where you're almost feeling sorry for the zombies because the way the motorcycle gang is treating them? Yeah. About is just, I think, du jour for the majority of most horror sequels, because it's not the situation where most horror films have heavy characters or heavy landscape that deserves a trilogy, not just a part 2 and a part 3. But no, there's
Chun-Li's daughter, Chun-Li and Ryu's daughter, Sakura, right?
Further with this, I mean, now Dawn of the Dead is one that does that. It creates a wonderful mythology, and it can go further with it, and the further you go, the more it brings up even more questions, and the more you want to know, okay, well, what did they do 10 years after that? Well,
come on, Stark, put this little bitch in her place.
Is there anybody in a safe situation? It's one of the few horror films that offers up that kind of thing. But here's the thing, is back in the days before IMDb, actors would routinely lie on their resume. And it was just kind of known, especially before you've done anything. You can't write SAG if you weren't in SAG. But other than that, you had a little bit of latitude to create shit. And so I came up with a couple of B-movie titles that didn't exist. I remember one was Drag Race No Stop.
Oh shit, they're gonna get War Machine.
But I knew I had to put 2 known movies. They couldn't be SAG movies. So the 2 movies I chose were Dawn of the Dead and Jean-Luc Godard's King Lear. Well, it was like everyone was in it and no one will ever watch it. So the
bullshit,
thing is, I put in Dawn of the Dead because back when they made Dawn of the Dead, there's a young guy in the movie. There's one of the motorcycle guys. He's got shaggy hair like I had at the time, and he's like got a Tommy gun, and he's in the sidecar of the sidecar of the motorcycle apparatus. And the guy doesn't really look like me. He looks more like Don Johnson than he looks like me. But he looks like he could be me. He has the same kind of brown hair. Yeah, I was wearing leather all the time, and we were more or less the same age. You know, I think he's obviously
Monkey Man, dude.
but nevertheless, yeah, he had the mop hair that I had. Yeah, and the same kind of brown and everything. And like you could imagine me in that role if you've seen this guy. So that's on my resume and whatever. So I start working at Video Archives.
Man, I love him some ass out of
like
here.
the biggest George Romero fans in the world. Not only is Roger like a George Romero fan, he bought stock at Laurel Entertainment when he was
Super Saiyan. Is this the Dragon Ball Z stole their shit from?
Laurel Entertainment stock, and then when they did
Super Ape.
the Dark Side, the TV series, it became a
by the way, Free Ape.
Just him wanting to support George Romero. You know?
Free Ape.
So I was sort of like, okay, do I tell these guys?
She didn't know what she was doing.
Me being in Dawn of the Dead, because I'm not in Dawn of the Dead. All right, but should I tell them? I go, wow.
Damn,
they know
I'm
not in fucking Dawn of the Dead.
That monkey guy wasn't playing around.
This is obviously before they knew me, but that's just impossible. And they're going to realize it doesn't look like me that much. All right, it suggests me, but it doesn't look like me. It's just crazy that I would be in their favorite movie. Well, I did it as an acting exercise. If I can sell them, if I can actually have them, I never thought I can get you guys to believe it. But if I got you to entertain the idea so that you couldn't just not believe it. The win is for you to consider it. You to consider it may have been true. And then I go, well, if I do that, then that's just the best acting exercise of all. Because one of these guys knows that these guys know this movie by heart, and obviously that's not fucking me. I mean, let's just get down to it. It's not me. Man. It should have been me.
Fucking Nina being this bitch off the fucking mouth.
5 years later, he's hanging around all these tough guys, so he looks bigger and older. That was the win. My life was man. I gotta tell you, okay, 3 years later, I eventually told Jerry. Jerry was like, I knew that wasn't you, but I'm kind of bummed now.
That's crazy. Tarantino told people he was an extra in the movie.
So what happens was, once I did Reservoir Dogs, one of those acting resumes that I thought had long since went away, my manager still had one, so she sent it out. And so all of a sudden, people thought that I was in Godard's King Lear and Dawn of the Dead. And so in one of the movies on TV editions of Leonard Maltin's movies on TV, when it does the King Lear thing, and look for a quick cameo by a very young Quentin Tarantino. All right, so again, that's almost like I might as well have been in the fucking movie if Leonard Maltin is meant to crediting it in movies on TV. Then George Romero hired me to be one of the radio voices in one of the found footage, I don't remember, the Diary of the Dead. So he hired me to be one of the radio voices. So thus, I eventually was a cast member.
Yeah.
By Romero.
Fake it till you make it.
And so that reality was created. Day of the Dead. Now, it's just the way of the world, all right? And it's been 2 years or so, and now the survivors are living underground. Oh, yeah. Saw it first day, first midnight show. That was me and all the guys from Video Archives went and saw it. We liked it. We were a little disappointed because, it didn't top Dawn of the Dead.
Ish.
So
Proton Cannon.
A few dollars more tops, Fistful of Dollars, and the Good and the Bad and the Ugly tops that one. It doesn't do that. In fact, it doesn't even try to. It goes underneath. It's more almost like a play. But it's a pretty good play. For years, I always thought, poor Romero, because he had this big vision of the film and he wasn't able to do it, so this had to be what he could put together because he couldn't do his big vision. But then when I realized later that his big vision was
nobody can block the proton cannon.
Yeah, from Land of the Dead, I hated all that crap, so I actually think Dawn of the Dead
the Cajun, the Raging Cajun.
Day of the Dead, really it was slightly disappointing to us Romero fanatics at the time. All right, even though it did have one really cool thing about you still had the practicality of how you would deal in a world with zombies like this. When they have to do their testing on zombies, the way they did it like a rodeo or like a cattle dip. Yep. All right, where they brought them through the different chutes, all with the collar, Planet of the Apes, kind of stick collars on sticks. It made sense. There was just that weird practicality of, this is just the way the world is. So this is how we have to do it. The small scale-ness of it and the fact that while some of the actors are really good in it, this is what's supposed to blow off my socks. All right, But then you had a lot of ham bones in there that, just not up to the same level.
Got him.
That there was in Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead.
It's like a fucking digital Hadouken. It's a high-tech Hadouken flyer, man.
The best addition to your study session? It's always been Tyson Lightly.
Alright, so that was that. That was Tarantino on the Trilogy of the Dead. Okay, let's go to Hack the Movies. Actually, let me see if I can do this. Hack the Movies, Fantastic Four.
Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here, and they're doing another Fantastic Four movie. So we decided, let's watch the four previous Fantastic Four movies, and we're going to find out what is the worst Fantastic Four movie so far. Today on Hack the Movies. Hello, Mint Salad, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, famous friend?
Well, it's a little rough, but I'll get to that in a second. But first, I have to introduce Riley. Am I allowed to call you Riley this time?
I'd prefer Clippa.
Clippa?
Personally, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
last time you were here, you had amnesia, and we had to call you...
I don't even remember that,
You don't
Tony.
remember being Wolver Riley?
I've been on this show before?
Yeah, you have, and I was trying to think of more names for you in case we had to use an alias. It was like Mr. Cliptastic, that was one
Mr.
of them.
Cliptastic.
Yes, and I was thinking, how do I mix your name with Reed Richards? But I thought Riley Reed would be a good name for you.
Riley Reed, that's what you came up with.
Yeah, I came with Riley Reed. That's a good name, right?
Yeah.
That would have worked really well, but I don't have to do that because you're a free man And we don't have to do a gimmick.
No gimmicks here.
Congrats.
This isn't a gimmick. Calling myself Clippa and dressing like this, not a gimmick.
Not a gimmick. The dressing up like Wolverine, gimmick. I'm a little sad. Obviously, there's 4 movies, 4 people in the Fantastic Four. There was supposed to be a fourth person.
Member of our team today.
Yes. Joey C, when he found out that we were going to wear costumes, we were all going to get Fantastic Four out, he got very, very excited.
He said he wanted to try them.
Yes, he went to make his own costume, and he wanted to be the Human Torch.
Yep.
Which he kept calling the Flamer, and I was like, that's not his name, Joey C. Why do you keep saying that? He got a little carried away, and he lit himself on fire.
Sounds like he'll need a lot of aloe for that.
Yes, he is currently drenching himself in aloe. He's bandaged up, so maybe we can cut to him later, and he'll let us know what he thinks.
You know, it's crazy. That's why, that's how we got the robot
Figure out which one of us
and
was
Fantastic Four.
I thought it was
Because the Comics Code Authority, well, maybe not Comics Code Authority, but people were worried that kids were going to light themselves on fire like the Human Torch. The same way kids were jumping off buildings thinking they can fly to be Superman.
White paint and just pour it on the side of my head because I couldn't find any other like hair dye. It's out of season.
So we're both Mr. Fantastic.
I have this haircut under the beanie with the dye and everything.
God damn it.
You're just been with the Cure. You're the Thing with the Cure.
The Cure.
You're a man version of the thing. You're like the man thing.
But like Mr. Hacktastic.
Hack the Thing.
But no, I'm the hack, apparently.
Movies, Richards.
And you're the Mint-Visible Woman.
That's the only one that works. That's actually a pun.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mint-Visible girl. Mint-Visible girl.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm glad you wanted to get in the character. You showed up yesterday blonde.
Yes.
And now you have gray hair. Did you go to a salon earlier?
Yeah, I literally, like, earlier today, went to a salon. I was like, hey, bleach my roots, because they're brunette. And my hair was very yellow. And then they're like, okay, here you go, let's bleach it. And usually when they bleach it, it's just pure white. But it's...
Oh, blonde. It gets blonde.
Yeah, it gets blonde and then turns like yellow blonde.
Yeah.
But then...
Breathe in, receive my enlightenment in through your nose, out. No phones during asana.
Yeah, as soon as I complete this level of Royal Kingdom.
This is for relaxation.
So is Royal Kingdom. It's a new puzzle game. Sometimes easy, sometimes hard, but always satisfying. It takes my mind to a whole new level. Plus, there are no ads or nasty pop-ups to take you out of the moment. I've never been so chill.
This is unaligning of our chakras.
You're unaligning the chakras.
I want to play. I would like to play too.
I would like to play as well.
Be quiet, Mark. That's what I said.
I think we all want to play.
Please. The class is trying to start.
Now gently open your game and swipe your worries away.
This isn't quite the zen I was going for.
Why are you still here?
You guys didn't have to tie me up.
And inhale.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's
Damn
time
it,
to drive
how do you
smart.
keep blocking my
High-tech
special?
features from the Kelly Blue Book Best Value brand. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
They decided to add gray to it instead of regular blonde.
Here's what I think.
It's like silver now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, me and Riley weren't there. We would have stopped this. I feel like you must have said, make me look like Storm from Marvel Comics. But you didn't say Sue Storm. So
Yeah,
they
that
assumed
confused the ladies.
they looked up the X-Men. They went, oh, she wants silver gray hair. And then they probably were like, I don't think she should be playing Storm from X-Men. I feel like that's problematic. They didn't say that out loud.
You're lucky she didn't come back with a mohawk. Because JDA would complain about that.
He would have. Yeah, they look up Storm. For whatever reason, the first picture is Mohawk Storm. We're like, that's what she
That's
was.
what she asked for.
She said Storm from Marvel. But anyway,
I just hit the shit out of this microphone.
we're good. Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four!
I like the Fantastic Four. I really enjoy them. They've always been a little bit corny, but I like that.
Yes.
I think there was a time where
First
I didn't
family.
like them, but I think that's so my generation. This might shock you. I'm a little older than you guys.
Just a couple decades.
Fuck you. Not that much older, you asshole. Yeah, so we grew up on like the Marvel cartoons. They were airing. I mean, there were cartoons before that, but they were very few and far between, and they weren't great.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four cartoon series was not one of the good ones. It wasn't X-Men. It wasn't Spider-Man. I actually liked the Andy Holt cartoon, and I loved Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer's good.
Silver Surfer cartoon was great. It was separate. It wasn't like its own
Yeah.
thing. But when I started, like, in the early 2000s, when I started reading comics more, I got a little bit more into the Fantastic Four, and I really, really liked the team. They're very fun. They were, at one point, like, the biggest thing in Marvel. Like, people don't realize. Everyone knows.
They're the first family, fam.
Yeah, everyone knows Spider-Man's first appearance, right?
Yeah, everybody. Man, what's Spider-Man's first appearance?
Amazing, fantastical, the spidery boyest issue ever possible, number 1.
No.
That's closer than Eric got.
She got, like, one word right. Amazing Fantasy 15.
That's what I said, right?
No, what you said was unintelligible, and I won't.
In a way, it is that's what it was.
I thought that's what you were going for, and then you mid-salad it and went in a whole different direction, and I'm not even going to entertain it. Amazing Fantasy 15 was the first appearance of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man number 1 was a whole issue with him with the Fantastic Four. That's how big they were using them to introduce new characters and shit.
Well, that's a big problem that I have with the way that all the movies had to be made, is that there's no other characters.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the Fantastic Four works in a vacuum. I think they work in a universe full of characters.
As much as I like reading like their solo stories and enjoying their solo
Even
cartoons,
then, you have to have Kang appear, you have to have Silver Surfer or Namor, you have to have other characters.
yeah, Namor without the Fantastic Four as well. Throwing Namor in Lady Black Panther was dumb.
He's like Peruvian now or something.
Yeah, I want to see, as much as people wanted a Hulk versus Wolverine, which we barely got, we got like the start of the fight. I want a Thing versus Hulk, like bad. I love when those two fight. But yeah, really, really fun team. What are your general thoughts on the Fantastic Four?
I like the early instances of the family dynamic, and I really feel like that makes or breaks the franchise. If we didn't have that, then who would care?
No.
Like, before that point, there wasn't really much family focus in the comics.
Right, you have a pretty clear evolution through comics. They go like, here's a power fantasy for little boys, now it's a power fantasy for adult men. Well, now you need a little kid in there, so let's introduce Robin so it can be for kids again. And then, there is this, like, lineage throughout the 30s and 40s that leads you to this, like, well, let's just fucking make a comic for all ages.
Yeah.
And a family sells that. Right?
Yeah, and it works really, really well. It's had some amazing...
And Mint doesn't have a family to like, so when she reads them, it's like a vicarious enjoyment of the thing everybody else got to have.
I'm like, man, this is what everybody else
like.
That's right. Me and my family, I can't count how many times we went to outer space and bumped the scrolls. It happened all the time. I'm sad you didn't get to
Tony, she's had her family rebooted too, a couple times.
How many? What's had more reboots, the Fantastic Four movies or your family unit?
I think the Fantastic Four, actually.
Okay.
Only by two.
Okay. So, okay. You're getting there.
It's got a lead up on my family.
I love them, obviously. My experience with them is liking them. I'm a big fan of, like you said, the cornball stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of like I think that Reed Richards would be,
a
dad joker.
Yeah.
Abyss.
Dad jokes. Like, you'd be kind of cringe. I believe that when the Thing says it's clobbering time, because, like, he would do that. He's not too cool for that.
Remember that? You ever hear of the Thing cartoon they made?
No.
Like in the 70s or something?
I don't know.
There was a cartoon about just the Thing, but it wasn't really the Thing. It was about a boy who had a magic ring that could turn him into the Thing.
That defeats the purpose of the Thing.
He would put the ring on and go, Thing ring, do your thing, and he would turn into the Thing.
Are you fucking kidding?
No, I'm not making this up.
Thing ring, do your thing.
Thing ring, do your thing.
Roll the clip.
Get out of here. Yeah.
There it is.
Oh fuck, is it Galactus?
It's like some cartoon, I guess whoever was like owned it at that time. They're like, kids
Oh
don't
no,
really
it's
like
Abyss
the
again.
They don't care about the other three.
Holy
Let's make
fuck.
a show where a kid turns into the thing.
That's as crazy as replacing Johnny Storm with in that other cartoon with the robot. Remember?
Oh yeah, that is.
And that's why we have that robot now.
The rumor was they thought kids would
Kids are gonna light themselves on
fire.
And only Joey C does that.
Yo,
Kids
you know
don't
what?
do that.
You know what? They were right. It turns out they were right.
We need a robot.
I should have only shown Joey C that cartoon.
Just so he didn't give me ideas. He
It'd
could
be
have played the
safe
robot now. Yeah.
He had never seen
Damn
anyone on fire
it.
before these movies. He watched these movies.
He said that doesn't look painful. That's what he said.
Fucking
Clearly,
Abyss.
he's okay. I'll be fine.
You know, he should
Fuck
have
is
emulated the
Abyss?
thing instead of
Emulating?
No, he did emulate. It's one of the problems, man.
What am I
9.
thinking? He should have copied the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Hey, wait, you could have saved him if you weren't squabbling about who's the thing. You could have said Joey, you're the thing. But now Joey's hurt.
yeah. Well,
That's a really like not.
I feel.
thing.
You know what? I feel more like Reed Richards
I mean,
now.
he's buff, but he's not like big.
Riley,
Like this.
I feel more like
I'm not.
Riley. I feel more like Reed Richards because I got my friend horribly mutilated.
Oh yeah, that is very Reed Richards.
That's gonna be the in the poll. Who's more like Reed Richards, me or Riley? Let us know.
I'm too smart for my wife, so I ignore her. Just so you guys know.
That's a good Reed Richards thing, actually. Now, if you had a wife, you could compete.
Thank you for reminding
Jesus.
me where I am in life.
The low swings from this lady.
You know, anyone else?
Come on, the thing had Alicia Masters.
The only woman on the show I give
Blind
compliments. So
wife.
when you insult me, it hurts even more, man.
My apologies.
Really, it's the I feel torture.
Like the thing.
I know. Now I feel like the thing, because I can never find true love. Maybe there's a blind woman out there for me. I don't know.
Okay, I'll start looking.
Thank you. So yes.
My friend Tony looks just like Reed Richards. So then,
Which one? Marvel Comics, years, I think in the 70s or whatever, they were just selling off properties, film rights, TV rights. The most popular one was the Hulk.
Get him, Cable. Fucking bitch.
Imagine battling with your favorite Star Wars heroes. You command the dark side and strike fear into any of
Get out of here. Bitch.
or choose the light side and defend the galaxy. The choice is yours.
Although they did do the Spider-Man show, there is a Doctor...
Which gave us Power Rangers.
Yes, there is a Doctor Strange. That's the other Spider-Man show. There was an American live-action Spider-Man and a Japanese one. What was I going to say? There was a Doctor Strange TV movie. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And which is funny because the grandmother from Arrested Development was the bad guy in it. And when you get to Arrested Development Season 4, they make a bunch of jokes about the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. And then she's dressed up like a bad guy in the Fantastic Four play. Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah,
This is around the time of the Captain America one, too, right?
not the 1991.
Okay.
But there were 70s made-for-TV Captain America
Yeah.
with Red Brown, which are not.
Fuck's sake.
So they were just selling off whatever. Somehow, I think Roger Corman got the Fantastic Four.
Property.
He was holding on to it. Now, the rumor...
Damn it.
And actually, well, let's start with... we're just going to get into it. Let's start with the Roger Corman unreleased Fantastic Four.
It's all up to you, Cable.
Original bootleg.
Cable guy.
Pennsylvania. I heard about this movie online. I used to be a big fan of the website.
Oh my
Agony,
fuck.
which would just review really bad movies and TV shows.
Fuck
and
you,
it's
Abyss.
a Star Trek episode, I think. You would know, right? Is there something called the Agony booth in Star Trek?
Not in the original series or the animated series.
That's where we're at right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't done the motion picture yet.
I don't think it's a motion picture. So I used to be on this website all the time. I think it's gone away, and if it's around, it's not relevant anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I went to the convention, I saw they had this. I'm like, I need this. Now, there's a backstory on here that we have learned since then is not entirely true.
Well, Mint's gonna have to read it for us.
Yeah, I was gonna have to read the next one.
Oh, you're going to do a whole thing? You brought a bunch of cases for us to read?
Yeah. I'm gonna read this
Funnier
one.
when she reads them.
I know. She's got the next one to read.
I don't want to read any of them.
You're reading the Silver Surfer one, you asshole.
Wait, there's 4 movies, but wait, there's
3 cases.
Yeah.
You're dropping the ball here.
I printed out the 4th case. Anyway, so
You got the printout.
People grew up with on this movie. Back in the early 90s, low-budget schlock horror Supremo Roger Corman, who made Carnosaur, had somehow acquired the movie rights to the Fantastic Four movie license. It's entirely possible he bought them cheaply when there was no market for superhero movies, which, yes, in the mid-80s, and Marvel were in need of a quick buck. However, in 1994, he ran into a problem. If he didn't do something with his Fantastic Four rights, they would lapse and be open to cheap repossession by another studio. With Corman seeing none of the profit, so to counter this, he stumped up a whopping $1.5 million and put one into production, then canned it and never released it from that day, and it was destined never to see the light of a commercial release. Some say it was never released because it was so bad, but Marvel guru Stan Lee has subsequently revealed that unbeknownst to the cast and crew, Corman never intended to release the film commercially. It was merely a shrewd money saving scam.
A bish. Your name's not a bish, your name's a bish. Yeah.
From the Doomed documentary, that's not 100% true. It turns out Constantine Films, which did produce the other ones, this was like a long con by them. If watch the Doomed documentary, Roger Corman, people think he didn't even know they were going to show it. It was definitely this other.
Arad had plans.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, so
and we've seen this.
Just lost the best one I had.
Wait, it was almost a trauma movie. Made by my good friend Lloyd Kaufman. The great Lloyd Kaufman.
Oh, Lloyd Kaufman. I talked to him when I was doing my Manslaughter comic book. He was all about manslaughter. I can't wait to show him the Mutant Team book when it gets here. But I'm definitely showing him Sledheads. Lloyd Kaufman and Charles Band both showed interest in manslaughter. That should have never seen the light of day. But he's been put into the Mutant Team book anyway, so we'll get to him eventually.
Do the Toxic Avengers. They're fun. Cool. You might like the Toxic
No. My favorite trauma movie. Let me think. My favorite trauma movies were probably let's see. The cliche one that everybody knows is obviously the Toxic Avenger. There's Tromeo and Juliet, Nukem High, Surf Nazis. Damn, I had both the Troma and Full Moon subscriptions. Like, I was really into that shit. I mean, Murder Cycle the other day on the live stream. Murder Cycle is a Full Moon feature. Fuck, what was my favorite Troma one? Because I definitely fucked with Full Moon more than Troma. But, oh, there was a really good Troma one that I liked. Completely blanking on it right now.
Select your assist type. Select your assist type.
Oh yeah, Bo Peep's got a whole fucking team of like fucking gangbangers or Goonies or something. Yeah, I think Bo Peep's got a team of gangbangers. They just show up with machine guns. It's like her special. I forgot all about it. I think we got this one in the bag this time. Although maybe I should have picked Cable instead of Wolverine, but we shall see. Yeah.
Sounds great. Body horror, like a motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It would
like Reed would have gotten stuck in the elevator going up it. Yeah. With his like head on the outside of it, like in a final.
It would have been a very entertaining movie, but I guess if you're a comic fan, I don't think you would have been thrown with it. Yeah, so then I went to Roger Corman. So yeah, the long story short is like Constantine co-produces with Roger Corman and then took it away They never intended to release. I think having a completed film gave them some kind of leverage.
Oh god, Lobo Peeps people showed up for that one. That was a dope double special.
So many people.
Double combo.
Maybe Roger Corman knew, maybe he didn't. From the documentary, he could be lying. He's got a very charming voice. I'd believe anything he'd say.
I'd lie if I was him.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like only a few top people knew this wouldn't make the light today. So everyone on the most limited budget is trying as hard as they can on this movie. So yeah, you didn't even know it existed, right?
No.
And then did you know it existed before I told you?
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, I've seen screenshots from it. Same with like the Captain America movie, the Daredevil in the black suit, and the Hulk episode.
Oh, we might got this one in the bag, folks. We might got this one in the bag.
Easy to see because
warm up the bus, Abyss, Abyss. Warm up the bus. Rest in peace.
As a Fantastic Four fan, knew about this movie. What did you think of it, Riley?
I thought very, very, very little of it at first.
Yes.
I couldn't even believe you were asking me to watch it.
Okay.
I didn't take it seriously when you asked me to.
The movie starts off a little rough. We learned about a cosmic cloud coming to Earth called Colossus, which is similar to the original story. They're like investigating a cloud, right? And they go
they go look for the thing that's out there.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And
DB Hood, fuck's sakes. How do you avoid those things?
Together. Yeah, and they want to make this whole contraption harness the energy of the cloud.
We're great so far.
Yes,
I'm like,
great
okay,
so far.
wow, this is starting off well.
But I guess Reed and Ben at one point lived at whatever Mrs. Storm's like house of orphans or whatever. So they go to visit and they see Mrs. Storm has her own two kids. Little Johnny and Sue Storm.
Little Susan Storm.
What did you think of this scene?
First of all, I have to mention that Ben and Reed are the same age, and I think Sue and Johnny are like 10 years younger.
Yes, that's the thing that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I just had to make it very specific. They look like they're 8 years old.
I texted Tony and I went, hey, this wouldn't be made this anymore. Wow, it's grooming.
What you're saying is she's 18 later on in the movie.
Yeah,
so
I think she's 18 later in the movie, Tony.
Having it show that she's like 8 and then like 3 scenes later shows she's 18.
That's not even the disturbing part.
Huge red flag.
The disturbing part is that she spent her whole life knowing Reed, and Reed has always had a 10-year gap, and known
looking
her.
up to her, no, but that's not even Tony. The thing that made me feel it in my gut was when he picked up Johnny above his head and was like, "Oh, Johnny!"
Sorry.
Stand.
You're the only one to hit it. I moved it so people would stop hitting.
I move a lot, okay? I'm like,
you know what?
I'm
You
like
know,
Dr. Doom.
I was about to say, like, okay, we'll get
Dr.
to that.
Doom.
So he lifts Johnny up like I've lifted
Clipper Doom, Doom Clipper.
Family members, and I'm like, that's not. You can't have sex with his sister later. That's not okay.
It's not even like.
It's his like little sister.
I'm sure there's been like scenarios where someone was at a party, there was a big age gap, but they didn't associate.
Tony, more
with
people
them.
groomed than didn't groom until the internet. I'm sure. I get that.
But no, it is weirder that like he's known them and then there's a relationship later. I'm like, oh, I don't like that.
Why'd they have to be so young? Like they could all be orphans at the same time.
Young Sue Storm is the Girl Scout in Addams Family 1, and she's the bitchy girl in Addams Family 2, the one that Wendy is constantly feuding, or Wednesday is confusing. But one that Wednesday is feuding with in Addams Family Values.
Nailed it.
I see it.
Yep. So that part is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Thank God they age up in the next scene.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. But yeah, Victor gets horribly scarred by.
I don't know why they even Mega Man Red.
He's thought dead.
But really, his Latvian people just take him back to Latveria. And one of his like dudes is a henchman in some other bad direct-to-video 90s movie, but I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I always thought that part was like Victor.
Hi. Oh, hey, what are you playing? You know what, don't answer that. Is it that new puzzle game, Royal Kingdom? Yep, it is. I can see it from here. I play that game, too. It is unbelievable. I mean, can you believe they don't have any ads? It's really wild, isn't it? My royal accent, what do you think? Yes, I agree. It's perfect. Anyway, the graphics are amazing, and there's no Wi-Fi needed.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about that?
I was. Did you not hear anything I just said?
Damn, I'm going into the last one with one guy.
I think the graphics are amazing. You don't need Wi-Fi, and they do a very...
thought is dead. I was like, you couldn't just like go check Reed. You're just like,
well, yes, the doctors, and the doctors lied. So
well, you
remember
be
this
smart enough to not trust them.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, but they're not. You'll see later they're not smart enough to not trust anyone who says, "Hey, I work for the government."
Yeah, they're kind of idiots at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, then 10 years later, they decide they're gonna build their thing. They're gonna make a spaceship to fly.
And they do. They just need a crew now.
And they do it. Well, no, I think they can just do it themselves. But they're like, we gotta get little Johnny and Sue, who, based on the interaction they're about to have, they haven't talked to in 10 years.
Right.
But like, we had to get little Johnny and Sue because they'll be mad if we didn't take him to space. And then when Ben's there, he acts like a little kid.
He acts like he's a little kid, talking to a little kid. Oh, Johnny there? Like,
It's so weird. It's like, why are you talking to them
I
like
think
that?
that's the joke, is that he's like doing a child affect because, we haven't seen you in so long or whatever.
Who goes to people you haven't seen in 10 years and be like, hey, do you want to go to space with me? And like, for no reason.
You gotta imagine maybe like Mrs. Storm was really supportive of their science endeavors or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like giving it back to the family that helped raise them. It's a family movie.
But yeah, he just...
But they could have been 17 earlier, and they could be in their 30s now.
And they
I'm
like,
fucking
know
stuck
about
on
the
Abyss.
project, I guess.
What
I
the
guess he
fuck?
used to work on it when he was there. But yeah, he gets to see Sue again.
And he complains before that they're not qualified.
Yes.
Then he sees Sue and is like, I'm grooming her. Like, I can't not let them come to space.
And Mrs. The Invisible Woman, she played a character on an episode of Seinfeld. I think it was the telethon one. Can't get one past me. Can't get a Seinfeld actor past me. That's not true. I will get comments. So, like, Tony, you failed to mention that this person was in Seinfeld. I'm like, fucker, I can't get them all. I can't get them all. Yeah. But remember, all right, so we're putting other Fantastic Four characters in this, okay? Because we can see Alicia Masters, the blind lady.
But she can't see anybody else.
She can't see anyone else. Thank you, man. She bumps into Ben and she hates him.
Iceman, Chun-Li.
You have a problem
I forgot this guy's name.
What's wrong with the Alicia Masters adaptation?
It's like Capcom, Captain Falcon.
Adapted with the Puppet Master. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they left out the puppet.
They have a B-grade villain that's perfect as an introductory before a Doctor Doom or a Silver Surfer encounter, right? And they don't use him.
Yeah.
And they always use his fucking daughter. Whatever. And she doesn't look like Sue Storm. So if you remember in the comics and in the 90s cartoon, like kind of a big deal was made about the fact that Ben, like, wanted to be with Susan as much as, like, Doctor Doom is wanting to be with Susan in the 2004s or whatever.
Jeez.
It was like Ben had a crush on Sue Storm and thought that Reed was neglecting her. And then he comes across a blind, like, identical lookalike that is transposed for Sue in, like, a plot to trick the Fantastic Four by the Puppet Master. So
then he just gets his replacement Sue.
Right, it's a huge plot point that they basically look like each other.
Yeah.
No.
That'll become a problem in the next adaptation. But,
which means we never got that cool black Puppet Master. Our dad would have been awesome.
So I guess when they licensed this, they got the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, Alicia Masters, and then no one thought, hey, should we drum up some money for the Mole Man? And they went, oh no, we don't have the Mole Man. So they're like, okay, brand new original character, the Jeweler. He lives underground, and he has people underground, and he comes up from the ground to steal jewels. And it's like, that sounds like the Mole Man.
The Jeweler, yeah, I remember that
This isn't
shit.
the only movie that renames the Mole Man. We'll get to it in the final one. They just
It always reminded me of the actor from the Leprechaun movies, but I don't think it was slightly different. They could have been related, though.
He's basically the Mole Man. He could just be the Mole Man. Riley, what did you think of the Jeweler? We didn't cut out Mint's part.
I don't understand why the Jeweler is not just the Mole Man. Like, you don't even need to have the license to use the Mole Man. Just be like, this guy, he acts like the Mole Man.
Oh, one guy again. Oh no, I got two guys? Oh no, that was
approximation, I'm saying,
helper.
than the Jeweler that would allow them to get away with it.
I don't know why they felt like we needed two villains.
Well, you kind of do. You need to show them becoming a team because they fought like a low-level threat. Then
here's the thing. They actually don't fight the low-level threat, really.
Well, he was kind of
Doctor Doom fights the low-level
you're right.
This is unbeatable, chat.
Then you didn't need him.
Might be GG's.
So those dirty people could have just worked for Victor the whole time.
So yeah, the jeweler steals a jewel that's meant for the shuttle, which Dr. Doom wanted to steal. Yep. But luckily the jeweler did it for him. It's the classic story. They go up to space, they get hit by the cloud, they crash. Dr. Doom intercepts them. He gets his men to pretend to be Americans. They do a bunch of tests. We get to see their powers.
Yep.
They eventually learn that they're not in America. They realize...
I liked the way we got to see their powers compared to some of the other movies.
Yes.
I really liked just a quick, joking, like, comedy sequence.
It was good. It was good. And then they realize they're trapped. They break out.
They were lied to by Doom's people.
Yes.
It wasn't really the government who saves them.
Yes. They become superheroes.
Let's go.
I'm like going through the plot here because I want to get to the one thing. So Ben is the one that has trouble with adapting more than all of them. He gets involved with
They got that right.
Eventually, Doom needs that jewel back because he wants to make a laser beam. So
Laser
Doom gets rid of the secondary villain.
A laser beam?
Don't really do anything with that secondary villain. Basically, it ends up they go back to Latveria on their first ever
Bro,
mission.
why did it start with my best people? I wanted to fucking
level. It actually is okay. It's an okay script.
strategy out the window. Not even by choice.
Makes sense. And Johnny chasing the laser doesn't.
Lasers are lights. They don't shoot across the world.
Yes, if it was a rocket or something, it would have made more sense.
This is my favorite CGI. It's with Johnny intersecting the laser, and he's just like flipping.
Yeah, the little flip.
And here's the thing. So script-wise, I think it's okay. Could have used a revision, but it was fine.
I liked the blocking. You can tell like the limitations they had that they mentioned in the documentary.
Where this falls
That's
apart
did
is
good.
the limited budget
Jeez,
and
that was brutal.
execution. But again, they tried their
No
damnedest.
strategy. Everybody's like almost dead already.
Only one suit.
Fuck suits.
Only one suit. They couldn't make more than one. But it does have an animatronic base like the Ninja Turtles.
It was miserable to be in.
How come I'm stuck?
It was really miserable to be in.
The body just looks like a Ninja Turtle without its shell.
Pretty much, yeah. But the fact that they put the effort into it, they could have made it look way lazier. The outfits didn't look great. They were
Fucking Christ, are you serious?
Now, what kind of a person would wear
It's got like 10 times harder since the last time.
uniform for like...
Riley, I don't know what you're talking about. Who would wear this? I don't understand.
They couldn't order something a couple weeks ahead of time? Just like have somebody make it, not the day of? Because the outfits looked made on the day of. So.
Ours or theirs?
Jesus, that was brutal.
One of the funniest things in documentaries where they're talking about like the outfits, and they were sewn like last minute, and they're all uneven. The belts block the 4 number.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more or less the design, though. Kind of.
What is it, like a ludonarrative dissonance? Like when a thing doesn't feel like the thing it is?
Yeah.
The coat they use, Sue made them. I bought that completely. I was like, oh, this is not like at all like antithesis to the product. It's like, she's a scientist, not a seamstress.
Yeah.
Not a seamstress.
The effects.
I don't like them.
They're trying again. Everyone involved with this, like as we learned through the documentary, they all agree. They're like, this should be a bigger production. It's bigger than anything Roger Corman had done, really. Sure. But it should have been a bigger production.
Well, they're traveling around, like talking to people about how big it is too.
Yeah, they really advertise this shit. But yeah, Reed Richards' stretchy arm is clearly just. It looks like when we did
it's not great.
When we did the AVGN Trespasser, we were making fun of how the video game had a wobbly arm. We literally just had a pool noodle with a fake arm on a stick.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, that's the arm at the end, 100%.
It's kind of quaint.
Here. Take your own blood.
Let me see.
Okay.
Oh, are you kidding? An ad right as he was stretching his arm? Fuck you, YouTube. If you don't do that shit on purpose.
I like it just because it's like they're trying, you know, and they don't have the highest budget. They have like a budget enough for cardboard.
When they're filming it, they're using good shots that have that fourth perspective that really work for you. The actors did a good job. Alex Hyde White did great as Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. For whatever his career was at the time, like that was a leading man performance. So congrats to that. Him and Victor. You can tell the guy playing Doom cares.
This was the most unfortunate part. They didn't like re-record his lines.
Yeah.
So
not only that, they said no. don't record. Like he came to them and he was like, please let us re-record these. They sound awful.
Yeah.
I'll do the whole rant again.
Yeah.
He's like, no. It sounds cool in the helmet. Like,
no, it doesn't.
No, we were watching a budget thing, but they couldn't have said that to him. Like, no, this isn't a real movie. Don't worry. They said, no, this sounds great in the helmet.
So yeah, you're watching the movie and some of it's okay, and then you get to him be like, "Arr, rah, 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 arr, rah, rah," and we're like, what did you just say?
It was a problem with Doom and a problem with Ben, because they kept like deep.
Sometimes that bass they had.
Yeah. It's just like
they did do the effect for Ben, but they wouldn't do it for Doom.
It was like unintelligible at times.
Yeah. But to make up for this, you know what? He is a great actor. He's like, oh, they're not going to be able to see my face. I know what I'll do. I will mime and gesture during my whole. I will mime my whole performance.
Like laser.
My favorite is when he goes laser, makes a gun thing with a point, and then when he tells them they have 12 hours, he writes out 12.
So imagine looking at that, right, the way it's
Come on,
shot.
Storm, baby.
He's just standing there, he's giving the speech, but it's so static, right? It's just a close-up of his face. You can't see his mouth moving at all.
We got this, baby.
Performance. So the next thing,
Yes!
tuck the hands a little
Storm,
bit.
did we fucking do it? Oh, we brought Thanos back too?
Keeps them in the frame. Like, think about how tight of a space it would be.
Yeah.
So Doom
Who is it on Thanos back? Is that Gamora?
I am menacing you. But it's like within this, like, box.
Yeah, it's like a tiny...
Oh, we did it! Yeah!
He's like, I'm keeping them here.
Well, he'll do it when he's around them. Like, in the third act, he keeps doing like a matador pose.
It's the same one, because it makes that clank.
Like he's a dancer or
Sounds
something.
good.
Like he's about to challenge me to a dance-off.
2008, Eric. Can you take Doom?
Yeah, so Doom, he looks like Doom.
Dance off with Doom cock, maybe.
Great
One
mask.
of the better masks.
Maybe not the rest of the outfit, but it looks like Doom.
Oh, I like the cloth. I like the cloth.
yeah.
Actually, my favorite Doom cloth. Of all the outfits we're going to get to tonight, that one, it looks like... So I have a problem with like superhero media treating it like they need armor.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't need armor.
Yeah.
So he's just wearing like some kind of clothing. He's probably not warm or cold either.
Well, he has armor in the comics.
Superman's
Like
not
metal.
either. They don't need it though.
Yeah, I guess so.
Superman can wear underwear his mom made.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the joke. Like, he's bulletproof.
Yeah.
So Magneto, the same thing. He can do it too. Doom can do it. Everybody can just wear like a cloak of cloth.
Yeah. I don't mind him wearing armor though. For his character, kind of makes sense.
He's metal.
Yeah.
Why does he need armor if he's metal?
Well, no,
made
he's
of
not.
metal,
In the
man.
comics, he's not made of metal. In this movie, he's not made of metal. The other two, he's made of metal.
Okay.
Alright, let's try people out this time.
Doom for a lot
Try
of
people I haven't tried.
Yes.
They got that DJ guy in here? That Jamaican dude?
But no, yeah, so they do the Latveria. It's the most accurate Doom we've got
Alright, let's
so
try this
far.
guy. Let's see about
film, format. There's this weird part in the middle where, like, the love story between Ben and Alicia is probably the weakest thing in the film. Because it's like they meet and they don't like each other.
Hell yeah, so is Samurai.
She feels his face, I guess. But then he dies, and they send molds of the actor, the guy, so she can make like a statue or something. She's like, oh no, it's that guy I bumped into. And then the jeweler's in love with her for no reason.
Right. Kidnaps.
Yeah, kidnaps her.
Kidnaps her, but then meets Ben, who's an outcast.
Yep.
Brings him back in.
Oh, this is so funny. The shot of him just like in the nature. I guess in this
in LA, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like walking up to two women.
Yeah, which we learned wasn't.
I just want to do the.
Which we learned wasn't. So there were two actors playing the thing. There was Ben, and then the actor who's in the suit. This was neither of them. This was like one of the producers.
Yeah, one of the
They threw him in the suit. They filmed it all on short end.
Silver Samurai, hit him with that. Yeah. Oh, you fucking jug.
And they literally were looking for
You
places that
jughead
they couldn't
bitch.
light, so they couldn't light.
Yeah.
Like an
10-hit combo.
We also learned
Oh my god, he threw a giant ninja star.
Fantastic Fours, like area.
Fuck yeah. It's like Wolverine's Berserker Barrage, but with a sword.
Were leftover sets from
The hell is this guy that?
which had a
Yeah.
big lab, which Roger Corman was famous for.
Is he a
Like,
fucking mummy?
hey, we have this set.
Sweet, it's like a mummy with powers, or is he a statue?
Yeah.
Dress it up a
The
little
Egyptian
bit.
statue?
Not a bad way to be.
Famously, we
Can this guy do the Hadouken, I'm guessing?
the Terror, which had Boris Karloff
Yeah,
and
what the
Jack
hell? That is a small Hadouken.
responsible for a lot of early, like, actors you know now, like, they're big stars, and Jack Nicholson was one of them. They made a movie called The Terror. It makes absolutely no sense. Probably because it was written in, like, a day. It's completely asinine, and the reason the movie exists is because they shot a different movie on this, like, Haunted Mansion set.
Yeah.
And they went, do another one, but they were breaking down the set as the movie was going on, so, like, the shots get a little tighter. There's one part where...
The shots get tighter?
Yeah, there's one part where Jack Nicholson
Bison,
and,
bitch.
I think it's Dick
Damn
Miller,
it.
are having a conversation in front of, like, a bush. Because that was, like, one of the last things, like, we don't have sets anymore. Go over by that bush. So that's the kind of cheat this Roger Corman was. So he's like, yeah, that Carnosaur set, redress it a little bit and throw it in the movie. Now, big movies do this once in a while. The Matrix used leftover roof sets from Dark City.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
They did it better than Roger Corman did, I guess. It's not as noticeable, I guess.
Yeah, you can't one-to-one compare the frames.
There are,
They
like,
look exactly the same.
like I said, I still need to look it up, but Carnosaur 2, they're in the control room for, like, a nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
But it looks way too sci-fi, and it's like, what other fucking movie did you use? This looks like a submarine set or something. Like, it makes no sense. It doesn't look like a control room at all. But yes, despite all of that, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's not the worst one.
It's really
not the worst Fantastic Four movie.
The visuals, probably because it's a bootleg, could use some work. Just
well, that's not that it was ever gonna look great, but yeah, it's not.
But it's not like processed.
Sarcophagus.
Yeah,
it's not. They're not trying.
I like this mummy guy. I'm gonna look up his powers later on Google.
Some of his movies to
His
screen
name?
Shout Factory. Some of them
Anakaris.
owns. I know because I was trying to remake Carnosaur a few years back and couldn't get off the ground. I had to find out who owned it. I was calling Roger Corman's assistant. I'm like, who owns Carnosaur?
Looks like a fucking
I don't
dolphin.
think she knows she owns it because there's nothing. It's just free on YouTube, but it's
Is that
not.
his hands or is that his dolphin?
Yeah, so it will be
Put on
nice.
Shout Factory. Hopefully they.
So I think Constantine Films has this, and they said that Avi Arad or whatever how you pronounce his name.
Avi Arad. Well, Avi Arad said he took it home and he burned the footage.
Yeah, which no one really believes.
That seems like
I believe it.
Yeah.
I totally believe it. I think he was like, flame on and just lit that bitch.
So wait, you said you liked the CGI.
Only ironically.
Okay, good, because they were conned by a visual effects guy who lied about how competent he was. What did they say? They said he claimed that he worked on Independence Day. He did the effects.
Which they didn't verify.
No, they didn't verify, but they were like, oh, they were like, maybe he was like an artist. I'm sure he was on an effects team, but he did not. He was not the head of anything over there.
Oh, it's like a mummy snake that he does.
Lawnmower Man or Reboot or any other early 3D thing from the 90s. It was new at the time. Everyone was excited about it.
Yeah, no, pretty spectacularly ungood. You know?
And they worked
Yeah.
the full fire.
You kept being like,
Some nice mummy powers.
And he does the hand fire. I'm like, that's not bad for the time. He does the
That's
next
what
thing.
I was talking about.
He does the hand
Oh,
fire.
and
It's
then
like
it gets worse.
Yeah.
And then it becomes just a cartoon that doesn't go there.
the hand fire looks like what's that?
Silver Samurai, I'm digging.
Man's hand.
Oh no.
I like how they weren't able to film some fight scenes, so they just spin the.
Bro,
spin
gave
the
me a
camera
kiss.
off the thing,
Tell
the
him
guys, and just
Rico.
spin.
It's like a Batman transition.
I like it. Yes, Batman.
For the Baxter Building, they just use that building in New York that has the 4 floors on it. I forget what the name of that building is. They're just like, get some footage of it. There you go, Baxter Building. Perfect. There's some okay miniatures at the end. So I'm surprised. So it was a rumor I heard years ago, and the documentary didn't confirm it, but like maybe there was an idea to repurpose this as a television pilot and get it out there. But turns out that might not have been true. This would have worked as a television pilot.
Yeah, it would have worked for sure.
For like just like a cheap,
Like the Lou Ferrigno era, like these guys got a suit.
This is a little
That's
after.
way
This
bigger.
is the Flash era.
Oh yeah, okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, the Flash, Lois and Clark era.
Oh yeah, the one where Barry Allen's not at all like the Flash.
Yeah. Other ones are going around. There was Nightman.
Nightman.
Oh, you're criticizing Nightman?
I don't know about Nightman.
That's the only superhero TV show that has a president of the United States in it.
Huh?
Like an actual one?
Nightman turned into Donald Trump for a second in that show.
I don't understand this guy. He's just signing autographs.
Oh.
Remember,
I have to go find and see that.
Damn, the movie
he
star.
would just do anything for a while.
Yeah, that's
He's
awesome.
a lot of things.
That's what's so great about him, Tommy. He can do whatever he wants all the time. Even if it's stupid.
But yeah, again, there's a lot of heart that's in it. Everyone thought this was going to be a big break. It was really heartbreaking that they were going to conventions. There were
Oh, he took the helmet off.
Sending the head of the thing around.
And they were doing it
out
on their own.
On their own
No one
money.
was paying for it.
Yeah.
The actors were doing it to get people interested, and people were thrilled and everything. And then it got shelved.
Oh,
Yeah.
No one never really heard of it until years later. The one fun thing was that Arrested Development Season 4, which a lot of people don't like.
Arrested Development. There's always money in the banana
I
stand.
think Season 4, the original edits, they've re-edited it to not be so non-linear and feel like the regular episodes. I like the original version. Season 5 is terrible. Don't watch Season 5.
There's always money in the banana stand.
2025, Tony.
Remember Job and his magic,
I'm not
his magician, his magician
With Season
goals.
4, there was a big joke about how they made fun of this where Ron Howard
Michael
tried
Cera.
to make a Fantastic Four, and then he like let the rights lapse, so they were trying to like get the Fantastic Four going again. It was really fun. They made jokes. They're like, the people he hired to be the stars of the film also did catering at the premiere. It's like the same actors in catering outfits like the next day. So a lot of funny jokes came out of it. But I don't know. When I bought this years ago, I was ready to like rip the shit out of it and be like, oh, this is gonna be so funny. I'm like, I mean, like all the cheap stuff, I really can't blame them for. I mean, I wouldn't have glued things onto a Nintendo's app and painted it gold. I probably would have got a different gun. But other than that, I mean, like I can see what they were trying to do. You could have made a better movie from the script, tweaked a few things, get the real Mole Man in there. It would have been fine. But how do you feel about the unreleased Fantastic Four?
I mean, it was honestly, it was all right. There were some questionable things about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it should have been rewritten a little bit. But overall, all of it just is all right. It's pretty solid. It makes me sad how everybody's worked on it, and it's like, did they get paid? Or I'm sure they got paid up front.
Not a lot. They
spent all that money promoting the movie.
They mentioned that when they put it out there, they're like, Fantastic Four, we're doing this. There's not a lot of money. So, and then they were surprised how many people like auditioned for it because no one knew what would be the next like Tim Burton's Batman. That was the big one at the time.
That's fair.
So yeah.
That makes sense. It was, I don't know, it was fun to watch. It felt like a time machine, going back to the 90s, early 90s, which I've never been to.
Yeah, you would have loved it. I think you would have really enjoyed it.
Fine.
I was only a little kid, and I enjoyed it, so I feel like you guys...
Wait, how was your first ever Pan Am flight? Did you enjoy Pan Am at all?
No, I think Pan Am might have been done, but it was... When did Pan Am go down? That was,
I think the early 90s.
Yeah, I don't think I was ever on a Pan Am.
Pan Am Discourse.
Oh, wait, no, I think, yeah, well, hold on. I think there's a joke in Hook, because they're flying Pan Am, and that was 91, but, like, Pan Am had been already gone, like, the year prior. Yeah, so no, I was down there. Sorry. I did eat at a Boston Chicken.
Is that Pan Am?
No, but...
Why would I care then?
No, but you know Boston Market?
No.
The food chain, Boston Market?
No.
It used to be called Boston Chicken.
Okay.
In the 90s.
Were you a Toys R Us kid?
I was a Toys R Us.
No, I liked KB Toys.
Like a big toy store emporium, like from Toy Story, and see all the toys everywhere.
I did.
I never had that.
KB Toys.
I did. Haha, I got him. Wait, that's...
Yeah.
Wait, they were still around like a few years ago.
I still have a dad. No, that my dad wouldn't take me when I was a kid, and then when I was an adult, I didn't go. I'm just saying, I didn't get to walk around and be like, whoa, it's the toy barn from Toy Story, like that kind of like, because I know that's what Toy Stories were like for a minute.
Yeah.
Because they did it in Toy Story, so I know they had to have a reason to do that.
They were overpriced.
Anyway, sad.
But yeah. But yeah, okay. Roger Corman, fantastic.
Not the worst one.
Not the worst one. I recommend everyone watch it. And if you don't want to watch it, at least watch the Doomed documentary. That was a really fun documentary.
Yeah.
And just seeing how, like, the guys, it's funny, the guy who played Reed and the guy who played Victor, they were the most burnt by it, even though they're, like, still acting and fine. The other ones seem to be like, whatever. Like, remember the one actress? They're like, I saw you as Alicia Masters. Like, that movie's out? Where did you find it?
She didn't have big expectations for her role as Alicia Masters, okay?
But anyway, I recommend
Blind.
everyone check out at least the documentary.
Ooh,
So,
Black
they
Clops.
sit on the franchise for a bit.
Yes. That movie began the cycle of Fantastic Four production, which is let's keep the rights for longer.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason they make a Fantastic Four movie ever again.
So yeah, so Constantine Film still has it.
Yeah.
Superhero movies are kind of phasing out until Blade, which was A-Rad.
Yep.
Who made them make the movie like the Blade in the
Maximum
Spider-Man
Spider.
show, which was a smart move.
Yeah.
Like go back and watch my Blade episode. Like that movie just changed Blade
With the
forever.
Blade Boys.
Oh shit, I haven't done the Blade Boys episode in forever. Oh god, I gotta call them.
They're gonna get you.
Beyblade?
They're gonna turn on you, and then they're gonna do Blade Boys without you.
It was a rough start. It was a rough start to the year, but I think my schedule's a little bit better. I'm gonna get Blade Boys back. Patreon.com/hackmovies for Blade Boys. Blade Boys! We're going through every episode of Live Action Blade. I think we got up to 6 episodes. Luckily, it's only 1 season. So yeah, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so Blade comes back. Yep. Then you get your X-Men. Then you get your Spider-Man. And everyone's just like, what do we got? And Fox is like, well, let's do fucking Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Mint.
Yes, which
Can
box
you
is
read
it?
the back? This one. Can you read the back of the box for the 2005 Fantastic Four?
Why didn't they do it in 2004?
Yeah, I have the same problem with this one though. It's 2025, and you
Damn it.
released this movie last year, and it'd be like,
And the
thing.
And the Josh Trank one was 2015. They only
Except
released them
2014.
in years with 5.
Yeah.
Seems bad.
It seems indicative of the quality of the movies you're going to
Power
get on
Grab.
a thematic level.
Pile driver.
It is spectacular, astonishing, stunning,
Wrong words.
and
I'd say it's fantastic if I were a
said
journalist.
the Chicago Tribune. So you can blame them for
The Pope's from a
that.
place that writes news like this.
Jessica Alba, Michael Chiklis,
Yes.
and Chris Evans had a sexy star
Yeah.
cast in this
Holy shit, he went blue.
adventure about a quartet of flawed,
Fucking ways.
ordinary
Wait,
human beings.
They didn't put him first.
you can't fucking say his name at all. But so they don't even need him there.
Oh, he's got ice breath when he does that.
Unpronounceable.
He was in things. This was probably his first like starring role.
This is why actors change their names.
Yeah.
Julian McMahon?
No, that's Dr. Doom. But yeah.
Julian
Oh,
No, Mr.
Ian
The crazy Zangief.
Okay.
Never seen that
The
before.
last thing mentioned, headed by Jessica Alba.
Yeah, she was the most.
It's down in the special features section.
Oh, it's not even in the description.
No.
All right, finish the description.
All right. About a quartet of flawed, ordinary human beings who suddenly find themselves with extraordinary
I'm sorry,
abilities.
they listed 3 names and then wrote quartet. Come on! Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, and Michael Chiklis, and I'll lead a quartet of characters.
Who's the 4th guy? After exposure to cosmic radiation, 4 astronauts become the most remarkable, if dysfunctional, superheroes of all time. Unfortunately, the mission sponsor has also been transformed into the world's most lethal supervillain, setting the stage for a confrontation
Come
of
here.
epic proportions.
Let's do confrontation.
Come here, lady.
Packed with non-stop action, awesome special effects, and irreverent humor. Fantastic Four is exhilarating fun from start to finish. Why did they not say fantastic at all? They should have just had this entire thing say, it's fantastic.
What's this movie about? Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't be bad.
Change all the adjectives.
Oh, yo, you know what I forgot to say? Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came with a mini comic. Actually came with a comic book. That's all the characters in it.
Had to go up
I'm
in
gonna
the
read it
summer
with a
against
kiddo
Batman
later when he
Begins.
gets home from school.
It's a little rough.
Right in the game case. Mini comic.
I think at this point, I wasn't like super into the Fantastic Four. I either liked the Fantastic Four or I just thought the movie looked bad. I thought it looked really corny and cheesy.
Yeah.
At least that's what the trailers made it look like.
I know this movie made a ton of money, but it couldn't have been that popular, right?
It was not that. It wasn't.
I grew up in the early 2000s, and it was all Hulk until Iron Man.
Yeah.
There was no Fantastic Four culture.
Which is weird because Hulk was super not well received.
They made Spider-Man.
Yeah, that first one was rough. Yeah, they did.
In the early 2000s, right?
They did their Banner Hulk and then the MCU Hulk in 2008. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That window though, like that in that window, they were also making these 2005, 2007, and nobody cared about these. It was, are we getting a fourth Spider-Man?
Yeah, it was.
When's the next Hulk release?
Spider-Man, X-Men were like the big ones.
Yeah, when that first Hulk came out, bruh, I remember we fucking...
This isn't the Daredevil.
Somebody had that shit on bootleg, and they brought the DVD over, and we were just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I think he melted into some kind of goo or something. I don't know, like the villain turned into like a pile of goo because of power cords, and then Hulk was like fighting a pile of goo. I don't know if I'm remembering the right way, but I'm pretty sure. I know I was young. I was like, no way, my buddy got the fucking Hulk movie and it's in theaters. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's fucking watch this.
I gotta ask, how many people are naked in public in those movies?
I'm not sure. It's been a minute since I...
You know the author's secret fantasy fetish insertion like meme or whatever?
Yeah.
Tim's story has Jessica Alba get naked as often as possible in public.
It is funny that they went, oh, this director known for making comedies with black leads. He will head our superhero team with real black people in it. It's like, that was a weird choice. I don't think he did the worst job. But yeah, so... when it comes to the cast, there's Ione Roughneed or whatever.
No match for Spidey, Omega Red.
It's confusing.
Yeah, bitch.
I used to read it as an L because it's
Meet my friend Zangief.
And that'll show you.
Michael Chiklis was doing really well.
Don't let me grab you.
Previously been sort of blacklisted from Hollywood.
Yeah, pile driver, bitch.
People hate it. That people who knew Belushi.
Is this during the Shield though?
This is years later during like around
that's household
the
name stuff. Like the Shield is
either out or on its way. He's like,
Oh, German suplex into the pile driver. Oh, double spinning pile driver. Omega Red, be done, bud.
He stole the show and not
Get out of here.
Big break.
So yeah, when it came out, I skipped it.
Yeah,
I skipped it, and then I watched it on DVD. Once Edward came out with my girlfriend at the time, and I remember
Come here, soldier boy.
it's not as bad as I thought it'd be.
I'm a reporter.
But then when Silver Surfer was coming out, I was like, you know what, let me go back and watch that one. And I ended up actually enjoying it.
I'll take the last picture of you anybody ever sees, Scotty.
Right? Yeah, but the theme with both of these, well, the theme with all the movies...
No more pulling my punches. Y'all are
They
done.
get it mostly right, except they drop the ball on the villain so hard.
Bitch.
Yes, and they're using
Check out Peter Parker.
very big villains that you have to do right.
And I mean, with this one, you have
You don't
you
even
have a
use
guy
Cyclops like
currently,
bitch.
like, off the
Check
end
this
of
out.
his villain run on Charmed.
Yeah.
And he was really good as a bad guy.
Yeah.
And
You want to
apparently
block
they
that
didn't let him do
bitch?
whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
They were like, no, ham it up. He was like, okay. Like, stupid. The cast was good. This is a great Fantastic Four cast. Alba's...
Okay, yeah, alright, Jessica
Alba...
They did try to make her a little more white. They gave her blonde hair.
Yeah.
I don't know if she has blue eyes in this, but they're not as bright as... Well, we'll talk about her appearance.
They're not... Yeah.
She gets whiter as the series goes on. But...
So did Ariana Grande.
But she is smoking hot in this, so...
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
I like her hair, although it seems to change color throughout the film. Like, it starts
The
from like...
roots show at different times.
Yeah, I guess that. Because they're going over the course of like months, yeah. They make sure Doom is there when they get all their powers, and they want him to be like...
that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but then, like, So Dr. Doom, he like has used magic and science
Fuck a
and
lot.
stuff. He has like powers.
Well, because he's from an old country that has access to like ritual artifacts. It's not because he's got space power.
I don't mind him getting like injured and disfigured during the initial experiment and whatnot, but then they decided, well, if they all got these powers, he should get metal powers, and that'll mean we don't have to do the metal suit.
But they did the metal suit.
They did the metal
mask.
After all, we're both doctors.
And they just teased the Latveria stuff. Do we see the mask once?
Yeah.
We see the mask throughout the film, and then we see the plaque. It's like given to Victor Von Doom.
As a gift from.
Yeah, a gift from the people of Latveria.
Who would give that to him?
The Latveria. We see he has other masks, and that he's making a giant metal statue.
In the very
of people. So I think it's
shot,
like.
it's like his thing. He likes the idea that he's like an immortal metal man.
Yeah.
And Ben Grimm's like, that's fucking creepy, Reed.
Yeah.
Reed's like, he's just a little larger than life.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Immortal metal man.
Shit, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so they gave him the metal electricity powers.
I don't even mind the electricity powers. If you have to give him some powers,
I guess so.
You get the idea that like, well, he's in the shields, so now he's shields.
Yeah.
It's like his it should come from his personality in a way, not from like that he's in the shield.
We forgot to mention the Roger Corman one is the only one that did the personality matching their powers.
Well, so directly, but in this one they do.
It's like more implied.
It's just that like he can't. That one joke when they're getting their powers in the cafeteria, he's like, "I can't see you." And she's like, "I know."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, Reed, no, Sue, I can't see you."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what she's trying to say. Is she feels invisible with Reed, and Ben feels like he can't be loved.
You like when they all first got hit with the cloud, like she turns invisible for a second. Johnny,
I kind of do like the
and then Reed's like head goes all the way back for a second.
And then
thought that was weird though.
Ben doesn't turn into a rock until much later, though.
I like that misdirect though, because they know the audience is expecting to be Rock Band right away.
And Bison, Captain America. Yeah. Oh shit.
A fantastic fake out there.
Everyone's like, "What happened to you? Everybody else got powers. What about you, Ben?" He's like, "I don't know, man." And then you're like,
he gets the worst.
Yeah.
He gets it so bad that that bitch from X-Files and Walking Dead breaks up with him.
She wasn't Walking Dead.
Yeah, more people don't know. I know her as one of the worst performance from Mulder in the X-Files.
She kind of looks like Sue-ish. Like she has the long blonde hair.
Really has the type, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, not in this movie.
Not anymore.
Not in this movie. Because he'll meet Alicia Masters, played by then unknown Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she had been in a few things, but she became huge after this. What was that show? Scandal? I think that was like her big break. Or
I Could Marry Me, Kerry Washington. That's what
she was also in Django Unchained. I forgot she was in Django Unchained.
Yay lyric. You never have to forget again. I might get me a Kerry Washington might have me on this Scandal.
Riley, I don't know if you still have residual amnesia. Maybe let's not break up the 9 around this time.
He apologized. It's fine.
Oh, you're not up to date.
He apologized 2 days ago.
Okay,
You're out of date now.
He's apologized a few times.
and we're in an apology period.
Okay, for game night?
Royal Kingdom is a brand new puzzle game that just launched, so we don't need these.
Wait, what? Hey!
Or these.
Okay.
Look, there's already footage of me saying I voted for him in 2020. Let's try not to...
I took your I voted sticker and I pretended to have voted for him in 2020, but only once it was offensive to have done so did I start doing that. I was like, yeah, I voted for it. Here's a picture of my sticker. And it's just your fucking sticker.
Anyway, what? I never did that. That was just a joke. Anyway,
we like to joke, man. Jokes are funny. We like
Kerry Washington's in it. I don't know, like I said, the movie is okay mostly. Some of the humor is a little too much. Gets a little too wacky sometimes. Johnny's a little too, cocky. I know he can be.
He's very attention-seeking.
Yeah.
Much more than the other ones.
And they're trying to, get one-liners.
I don't agree that he's cocky. I think he's a little insecure.
Maybe.
But I think that he's very aggressive about coping with that throughout the film. Like, the character's written in a way where he's like, he's talking to the doctor, and she's like, "You're hot." And he's like, "Oh, thank you. You too." It's like...
Pretty good. Yeah,
that's not real cockiness.
Everything he's saying is, used in the trailer, basically.
Yeah.
They wanted trailer lines. They had to give him a buzz cut, because apparently it was easier with the CGI instead of animating the hair.
He looks like a Snowpiercer version of Chris Evans in this one.
Yeah. The Thing effect, I appreciate it was a suit and makeup, but I feel like the Thing should be motion capture.
He could be a little bigger.
Because he needs to be a little bit bigger. I appreciate they tried, but they didn't give him the eyebrow.
He's also shorter than...
We're not really getting... He is shorter than he should be. But that's because he's on a human person. That's why like, I was never really super into the Lou Ferrigno Hulk because he just didn't look as big as I wanted him to be.
Yeah.
Because he can only be so big as a human.
He should be like 7-8 feet tall.
Yeah. But I think he plays the part really well. I think everyone plays the part really, really well. Him and Jessica Alba so much. The problem is they bicker a lot. And I know they're supposed to grow.
It. They should bicker. They're supposed to bicker.
I do feel like maybe they bickered a little too much.
Well, they don't bicker at all in the other one, the Corman one, right? There's like almost no interest.
Ben has an argument with him. And it is funny, by the way.
Ben likes Johnny. Ben's like, can Johnny come to space with us?
Yeah. No, but like Ben argues with like Reed in that one briefly. So that's how he ends up at the jeweler's place. But no, this way, you know, it's funny. Because, yeah, that kind of happens in this. Ben gets into an argument with Reed, leaves, and then he bumps into Dr. Doom. It is kind of like Constantine just used that movie as a rough draft, basically.
Which...
Damn it.
And I think we talked about, like, I think they wanted Chris Columbus to direct this at some point. He is on as a producer, though.
He ended up producing.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is funny they took that end. At the end, Dr. Doom does shoot a rocket that Johnny has to, like, chase, and it's sort of similar to the laser.
Same sequence, right?
Yeah.
But it works better because, you know, every part of it is better executed.
Flame on!
It's like they rewrote it and then formatted it to what they needed and got rid of the grooming.
Yeah, they got rid of the grooming, thank God. They went to college together. They're the same age. Their relationship is weird. It's like we all went to college together. Sue broke up with...
MIT specifically. They all went to MIT together.
Yes. Sue broke up with Reed because he wasn't ready to have an apartment with her. Because who would want to be around Jessica Alba 24/7?
Well, she says that he broke up with her by not wanting to have an apartment with her. That is a contention in the scene.
They can't get on the same page.
They just don't agree on who broke up, which is how fucking tragic is that? So they didn't even mean to break up. They just did.
And then she dates his best friend afterwards.
Yeah.
Or former friend. Boss. Her ex's friend and her current boss. It's a little problematic, Sue. I wouldn't do that.
And whenever they're alone together, they're arguing about who broke up first. I'm like, wouldn't Victor hate this?
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah. When Victor walks in on her at the Baxter building, he's like, I've got all your stuff coming to my building, and she's like, oh, I want to stay here until we get a cure. And he's like, okay. What am I doing here?
Okay, you can stay with your ex-boyfriend and live with him.
Well, either tell her that or not. Don't be a fucking. Don't like. You should understand.
But don't worry. He has 1 million security cameras there that he spies on them. Yeah, all day. We were his assistant. It was bothering us when we watched it. His assistant looked very familiar.
He's in a bunch of stuff.
And it's the actor Hamish Linklater, who's in a bunch of stuff. But yeah, the one I remember him most is the Mike Flanagan show, Midnight Mass. He was the priest in Midnight Mass. So yeah, he really stood out to me. Again, of its time, he's doing like motocross. That was popular at the time. I do love when they leave the venue and there's sponsors everywhere.
And like you said, that's how they do their Times Square scenes.
Yeah.
They need to put all these ads in the movie.
Yeah. I do like that their first big saving the day thing is kind of from Ben fucking up a little bit.
Oh yeah, he totally caused it.
A guy goes to kill himself and Ben is like, instead of grabbing him and moving, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna body slam this truck. I sure hope there's not another truck.
Hold on, you're missing some very key details.
Yeah.
He's like so sad, and he's on top of this bridge, and this other guy. I don't know how he got on top, because it shows hopped. It was like 10 feet tall. It was.
Oh my god! Fucking German suplexes the little Lego guy. That's hilarious.
So like he drops it, and he's about to walk off, and then the thing's like, "Hey, bud." He's like, "Oh no!" Right?
Well, he starts running away because he actually wants to live.
Like
that was cute.
And he like walks backwards, and things like take my hand, take my hand. It's like, bro, you don't understand. He's like running away from you, even though that you know that you're a monster.
Yeah. It's a great commentary on suicide, though. It's like, you don't really want to die.
And then, like, that guy falls, like, in the middle of traffic, and so the thing has to, like, drop down and, like, cause a lot of asphalt damage that the taxpayers have to pay for.
There should have been The Incredibles style, hey, you guys are responsible for this financially. Sorry.
And then, like...
And that guy's suing you because he didn't want to be saved, Ben.
Yeah.
So,
in order
just traumatized him.
In order to save that guy, his body's the semi-truck, and then all the trucks, nobody has the right mind to hit the brakes, or at least they're not, like, paying attention to them.
Very fast.
Not really. I couldn't hit the brakes. But...
Yeah. And we noticed in the scene, some of it looks really good. The bridge set looks great until they show the sky too much, that it's very blue screen. So that is a hard part of the scene where it goes from looking really good then really bad.
Well, there's stuntmen, like the firefighters swinging around on something.
Looks so bad.
And then there's actors who are being totally just like transposed onto footage of something.
Yeah. And then during all of this, we realized there must have, and I should check the deleted scenes.
Yeah.
There must be something cut because they're like, we can't get to Ben. Sue, you can get to him.
Or it was added. Or nothing was cut. And this fetishist in the story said, I need her to get naked outside.
I really wanted her to get naked. I mean, and she doesn't do nude scenes, unfortunately.
Right.
Like even in Machete, when she's naked in the shower, she's wearing a bodysuit.
But I
can
just imagine it. That she was naked then. She was nude. Because I couldn't see her not.
So yeah, she's like undressing.
Don't take it from me, Tony.
Yeah.
She's undressing in front of everybody.
I didn't know she wore a bodysuit, Machete.
I'm not
That's
exactly
funny.
sure how her powers work because like she makes it so she's visible again with her bra and panties on, and everybody's watching her, and then they see her go invisible again.
That's how they work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then everybody knows that you were trying to sneakily go through the crowd, but everybody saw you.
But then like it cuts back to the band and whatnot. And then it cuts back to her dressed up, and the guys are already there. I'm like, what did she exactly do to get them across? I feel like they just
the crowd was leaving by then, so the crowd just dissipates. They always walk through, right?
So maybe, but I feel like she should have done something more, unless they were like, we cut that scene. But
invisible underwear.
Like, hey, this is too long. We gotta cut this whole sequence. Like, well, leave the part where she's undressing, and then just cut to the end, and it doesn't make sense because we got to show her. And we're not gonna not have Jessica Alba in her bra and panties. Are we insane?
To the credit of Roger Corman's film, didn't have moments like this where I was like, well, that's not what happened there.
Yeah.
It totally doesn't make sense at all. I could follow the silliness. So better script.
So I'm supposed to believe that she got undressed and then redressed?
Yeah, within like.
Well, Johnny like picks up her clothes.
Suspending disbelief a little bit. Comic books.
Yeah.
Or wait, it's a movie.
They save the
comic book movie.
She also uses her force field to stop the fire from blowing everyone up. They save the day, and the news dubs them the Fantastic Four.
That's a Newsly thing to do.
Best way they get their names.
Oh, you didn't like in the Roger Corman one where the mom is just like, look at you guys.
Look at you. The Fantastic Four.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smart. High-tech
Yeah, bite your ass,
Kelly
bitch.
the best value brand. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
Oh my
Let me
god.
tell you why we have Spectrum. I'm on a video chat. Melissa's live streaming with her audience. The kids are on their phone streaming while gaming. What screen are you paying attention to? So we really depend on Spectrum to be top speed.
A little probby for me, okay? A little too.
Yeah.
No, bad.
So yeah, they get their names. Johnny loves it. He wants to be a celebrity. And yeah, the rest of the movie is just
And
like...
he gives them their individual names.
Yes.
What's that thing? That's exactly
That's
it.
the thing.
The thing.
It's Mr. Fantastic.
My sister's an invisible girl.
Yeah, she's like invisible.
And I'm the Human Torch.
Yeah, so like the rest of the movie is just them dealing with their powers, arguing with each other, Ben trying to like find his place.
It's funny. I'm laughing at parts.
Yeah, and Reed is trying to rekindle his relationship and cure Ben while Doom is turning evil. Doom doesn't really have a master plan he's working toward. He wants to get more power and kill the four of them.
He's always wanted power.
I've always wanted power. That's so weird. I always wanted power. Yeah, so he wants to He wants to just kill the Fantastic Four. Very publicly, not even sneakily. He just wants
blames them for him losing everything, I guess?
Yes, because his company...
He's not trying to take anything back. He's just trying to kill everyone who works for him.
Again, it's also ripping off Spider-Man. Because the bad guy gets the powers the same day as the good guy, and they're about to take his company away from him, which causes him to snap. So yeah, they were kind of...
I hadn't thought about that so directly yet. Now I'm like, you're right. Damn.
So yeah, he just goes crazy and wants to kill everyone, but like not get away with it. Like he just publicly wants to be a bad...
Well, he did get away with it.
Huh?
He did get away with it.
He's not in jail.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, he okay, so he wants to become more metal and creepy. But then he sees his reflection. He's like, "My face, I'm hideous." It's like, well, you knew what you were doing.
You were picking at it, bro. You were opening your skin.
Yeah. So then he's just like, well, there's only one thing I can do, and that's put on my scary metal outfit. I actually didn't mind his outfit in this, even though he doesn't have the metal gloves and everything.
When you get evil powers,
Reed,
those masks.
Thanos.
Just because you have it around
Juggernaut.
already, which one do you just put on?
The Darth Vader one.
Probably the Halloween Resurrection clown.
I have the Joker mask that comes with the comic, right?
Yeah.
That one. And I've never thought like I'm gonna put it on because it's here and I'm gonna wear it outside.
Well, Batman one I can't put on. It's a display purposes only.
How did he know that wasn't? Right? He's putting it on and it doesn't fit. Maybe put it on halfway.
Who the fuck is that guy? Jill? He's got a fucking bazooka.
Which I like.
Nice. Good color.
And it's got the big buttons on it, whatever. But like, it's just like, oh, that's just a jacket he had. I'm like, is that a Latverian jacket? That doesn't match the wardrobe he's had the whole movie.
No.
Yeah, so that's their way around it. It's not a bad look. The mask looks cool. I like the reveal where he's just like, we're both doctors, and he's in his full suit. So they tried a little bit, but yeah, it doesn't feel like Doctor Doom at all. Really.
His gravitas, though, makes up for so much of it. I mean, by far, not the worst Doctor Doom in this movie.
There is one good moment where he's about to kill.
Not good character, but not bad acting job.
Like, oh, I'll be right with you, and he's like,
he's about to kill Ben, and Mr. Fantastic shows up. Reed, I'll be right with you.
There's a weird part here where, so Reed is making a machine to reverse their thing.
Yeah.
And Ben is mad that it's not done yet.
Yep.
And that's
so Reed tries it earlier and it hurts him.
And then Ben does it, it is cured.
But here's the thing too, Reed does, like, what? Reed wanders off and then comes back and he was fine about it?
Wait, yeah.
Well, he's like injured. That's how Dr. Doom
That's why Doom's able to freeze him?
He's not this, like, molecule like back yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he knocks, like, Ben out. And then Ben thinks the only way to stop Dr. Doom is to turn
Charles
back into a rock monster?
Wait, what's funny, I think it's interesting, it didn't have enough power, the machine, and that's why it messed up for Reed. But then, like, Dr. Doom's like, oh,
this is chaos. Fucking Thanos and Juggernaut charging you boys at the same time.
Maybe it wouldn't work, but then it worked to turn him back into it. I just feel like I feel like it was real lazy trying to get him back to being the Thing.
Well, they have to take him away from being the Thing just for a minute, so he feels bad. That's
the previous movie had him turn back into Ben for no reason because of love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
weird.
I thought that was weird that he's not the Thing, and instead of just being like, I have to call the cops and the military and get someone to help us, and this is 20th Century Fox, maybe the X-Men can do something. They're in this universe, maybe. And they don't do that. He's like, nope, I gotta be a rock monster again. It's like, what if it turned into something else this time? What if you just horribly, die?
I mean, now you're made of gas and you can't even leave the building.
I mean, he doesn't have the brains to think of that.
I was gonna say, there's something nice about, like I'm a dumb guy.
Yeah.
All my opinions are obvious. Hey, this guy seems evil. Should we really, it's gonna be safe? We'll be safe enough. So what? Safe enough, huh?
Oh, it's like, oh, this should work. Should
work?
Yeah.
Like, there's something about that, like, dumb guy, like, instinct that keeps them alive.
But also he can, like, fly in space and stuff.
He's a pilot, you know? I mean, you can drive a car.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you should not be hitting Thanos. What the fuck is that, you cheating bitch?
I mean, it's by increments of, like, IQ that he's the dumbest friend of his.
Yeah.
But they all went to MIT. Yeah. So he's not, like, stupid.
Yeah, you wanna hit Thanos, hit that bitch.
Machine on dumb. Not like, I don't know how to turn the machine on.
Triple assist in your bish, abyss.
Because in 2015, he's like dumb. He's actually just not participating.
Yeah,
it's a different thing.
That's we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second, or in a few minutes actually. But yeah, the action is okay. The effects are corny and cheesy, but like also, how do you make a stretchy man look like not corny?
You have to buy into the premise that you stretch him. It's cool.
I guess maybe they like tried to do too much with him, so like eventually it starts to look more and more ridiculous. Like his head is just like floating, and he's got a seat.
You just have to agree that that's happening, right?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to criticize his effects specifically because they're always going to look dumb.
Yeah.
They always look bad.
Like even in the new trailers, they're not really showing a lot of Mr. Fantastic stuff. There's like that one shot of him jumping.
Like Tony, there are rocks, and there is a lack of seeing things, and there's fire.
Yes.
But there isn't. Is doing this. Like, it's not real at all.
Yeah.
So you can't do a good job.
I think the cornier it is, the more fun it is. I especially like when he's trying to like contain people, like
when he like is fighting Ben.
When he
and
ran
so,
out, full Nelson's in there.
Yeah.
But I do like
on the other side.
Oh, I hate that.
I do like at the end they all use their powers together. Yeah. Which is the whole coming together. That's what's called like Ben. Johnny goes supernova to like melt him, superheat him. Sue uses her force field to contain it.
Dr. Doom dropped that banger. What happens to elastic?
He's like,
what happens to rubber when you super cool it?
Rubber, and he's like, what happened when you freeze
super
rubber?
Cool, and then super cool, and then he's like, oh hey, Victor, what happens when you superheat?
Why does he keep fucking running this time?
And then Ben uses his strength to knock over the hydrant.
Chemistry shit.
And then Reed uses his stretchy powers to angle it.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That made a water slide, like hose out of himself.
So they
you bitch.
fine. And then, I do like that they were wearing spandex because this was the leather daddy era of superheroes. Only Spider-Man really did spandex, and even his villains were wearing leather and body armor.
Could have been like jackets with zippers.
Like Daredevil. It easily could have been Daredevil.
I mean, Sue Storm, she had zippers at the right height.
You know what?
Got him.
In the movie, she's not really unzippered that much. But
Yeah.
in the advertisement, she's unzippered. Yeah. So I thought they were fine. Although
That's
we were
twice in one day.
So the suits were radiated. And then that's why they work. But then they add buttons to it. I'm like, well, why is the button on fire? Why can the button stretch?
The only thing we could figure is that the buttons are made out of alloy from the crash, from the ship or something.
But then like in the next film, they have clothes that work with their powers. Like, wait, so maybe that cloud machine, they just use it for their clothes. Maybe that's what they're doing.
That's actually clever. That'd be a good joke, too.
Yeah.
Just throw in there. I'll take it.
But yeah, it wasn't super well received. I think most people thought maybe it was just okay. Everyone really thought it was corny. Like I said, it took me a little bit to actually end up enjoying it. But how do you feel about it overall?
It was alright. I mean,
The key to being rich
They don't let me type in ass.
is knowing what counts.
Damn it. What the fuck was that?
it wasn't the best thing, but I like the idea. It's
They
definitely
censor you typing in ass for the high score.
budget. I was like, you know what?
That's not cool.
After watching the Roger Corman, this is definitely better because of the budget. There's more.
It's a staircase up.
Yeah.
It's a step.
Oh yeah.
It's a staircase up.
It's an entire story.
A Tim story.
Alright, let's play somebody I haven't been yet.
It's fun.
Oh yeah.
It's fun. I like the bickering. That I feel like really makes or breaks a fantastic.
See, and you didn't like how much it was. She liked more of the bickering.
I didn't mind the bickering. I just think they overdid it.
A little
bit. Yeah.
No, I think it should be all bickering.
Yeah, she's like, give more bickering.
I need more bickering because I'm mostly interested in the interpersonal conflict between the team, and even with that, they still have to work together in the end. Even with Ben and Johnny constantly pulling pranks on each other and like fighting and feuding. That's the most entertaining part, honestly. Is the inner conflict between Ben and Johnny and their different personalities.
What did you think overall, looking back at it?
Yeah, it's I mean, I think it's really good compared to what we've had and get after it, and like.
Yeah, it's not the worst. Looking back, I think people thought it was way worse than it was back then.
When am I supposed to pick my best one?
Not yet.
I won't pick it.
Not yet.
I'm not gonna
Spiral.
pick it like in the Wolverine episode. So this movie is great, though. It's
I'm taking a break from Mojo World.
It was
Whoa, look at those stretchy 6-arm stretch.
Not fun at all.
Alright, let's see what Spike's about.
X3, like everybody dies.
Whoa! See that?
X2, everybody dies, and X3, everybody else dies.
She's like a fucking porcupine with tits.
No, those are fun. Those are fun. I mean, they're good movies. They're a little bit more.
It's so fun when they all die at the end because
Alright, Venom, show me what you got.
after all. Like, come on. It was depressing.
I guess you could call it fine and fun.
Yes.
Oh, what was that? Some kind of
This
ring?
one, it feels like it's like more in tone with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. It's just
Okay,
not
let's see what she's got first.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It feels like it could have been. It feels like maybe they were hoping like you guys are gonna let us cross over, right?
Yeah.
At some point.
Oh, it would have been
Because
nice.
that's AVRAD's thing has been the whole time. Like, how do I make this like the comics? You know?
Yeah.
More or less. It's like, how do I get all these characters to talk to each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we had a Wolverine cameo in this movie that was cut out. The face morph.
Yes.
Yeah, stretchy versus stretchy,
About, like,
bitch.
Manly or whatever, and he makes his chin bigger. But in the
Yeah.
other cut, he like makes his hair grow out like Wolverine.
Yeah, he gets the Wolverine like facial.
Yeah, implying that they might live in the same universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
How does that implication work?
Like he's seen
Well,
him. He's
we never got to
he's
it.
doing a facial impression of a person that he has seen and notes as a masculine figure. What the fuck? What do you mean?
I was curious. Like, how does that directly?
If I had stretched your arms, you'd be knocked out right now. Weird, but I can't get you from here.
If only. Oh, there you go. But yeah, I would say if you're gonna rewatch this movie, I mean, if you're gonna watch Fantastic Four's leading up to this, give these movies another chance.
Whoa.
The Doctor Doom was the weakest part.
Yeah. Well, and you know.
Oh no, not Marrow.
Okay.
A lot of the
I wonder if Marrow's related to
this movie
No,
is
they're
that it
different
almost
colors.
necessitates
Different
a
skin
certain type of
colors.
person to
I was
continue
gonna say
to watch.
Marrow and Spike. Spike from
Yeah.
the X-Men Evolution show.
So they greenlit the next one.
Which, by the way, I never appreciated X-Men Evolution, the cartoon, a lot. I mean, it was okay, but I was just always mad, right? Because I wanted another X-Men the anime series, and we finally got it with X-Men '97. But now, like that, that's been satiated. I've been watching X-Men Evolution on Disney Plus episodes, and you know what? It wasn't that bad. I was just everybody wanted, like, you know, the old style of animation, but it's pretty good. Decent stories and episodes, you know, when they're in high school and stuff.
Brace yourself for non-stop action.
Like, they even do a X-23 episode with Wolverine's daughter, or S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to catch her again. And Wolverine's like, you just gotta let kids be kids. He lets her go, and S.H.I.E.L.D. comes down like, what the fuck?
Crashes the proceedings and heralds Earth's impending destruction with time running out. The Fantastic Four reluctantly.
They also do like a Mesmero episode, where everybody ends up having to work together because Mesmero's like trying to get a fucking spider key that'll unlock Unstoppable, you know, Apocalypse. That was a pretty good episode too, with Mesmero and Magneto and Gambit, Sabretooth. In fact, all the X-Men eventually get involved.
Yeah, so at the time, I wasn't really hot in the first movie. I would become more of a fan of it.
And
so I was like, well, I don't really like Fantastic Four.
Magneto ends up being the only one that can obliterate the spider. It was pretty cool though. Gambit crashes a fucking Greyhound fucking tourist bus into the spider, and it fucking starts squishing the spider. It's squishing the spider. The bus is laying on top of the spider, and then he fucking uses his kinetic powers to supercharge the bus that's currently impeding the spider from moving, and the bus blows up. And they think they won, but they didn't. But it was so badass. And Magneto ended up fucking being the only one that could fucking hit the spider.
With a helmet, which is what Galactus should be.
But then it wasn't no good, because that's what
So that they were good.
Yeah, so I guess this movie was like, we'll go with.
that's what Mesmero wanted the whole time, was for him to attack that spider so it would bring the key together. Because once the spider's destroyed, it opens up the second door for Apocalypse. So there's one more door to open, and Apocalypse will walk the Earth again.
voices.
So X-Men Evolution isn't too bad. Actually, the episode with Beast could be seen as a masterclass on characterization and on character arcs. Beast is just their teacher at first, and he starts. And in this episode, he's like kind of violent when he first turns into Beast. It's like
he's like Andy Serkis for good movies.
It's like a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type thing with Beast. So yeah, X-Men Evolution, I never appreciated it. Because I just wanted X-Men in the style that the X-Men anime was. X-Men 97. Finally fucking got it. I watched the first season with the kiddo.
Well, he's the zombie boy they bring back to life. So he's very when it comes to like suit actors. He was very thin and very tall and lean. Yeah. So they got him to do the.
I appreciate X-Men Evolution now.
Suit.
I appreciate everything X-Men now. But just back then, you know, it was like, oh, this is a different animation style. Not a lot of things are canon. They're in high school. Mystique is the principal, you know, it's just like, oh, what the fuck. It's actually really good, though. I've been rewatching episodes on Disney+.
There's like a whole hero's journey for him.
Yeah.
Too, that there is. It's not like he's the new member of the team.
The marketing leaned really heavy on the Are you okay there, man?
Sorry.
Stop playing with
me ADHD. I'm gonna have to start taking Concerta.
Yeah, do we have any Concerta from me? I think I have. Vito left some.
I need unregulated.
Vito left some. No, why would you bring Vito up?
So I went and saw the movie with my friend Zach, who I actually started hacking movies with years later.
Zach in the movies, it was called.
Actually, he stole it from me. Actually, it turns out he has his own YouTube channel and does very well. Last time I checked, so that's funny. But yeah, so we saw it, and I remember being like, okay, so here's the thing. I think this movie mostly works, and I actually think it's not that bad, except for... ruining Galactus. Again, they dropped the ball.
Oh, they ruined Galactus. Damn it.
And I would have liked more of Silver Surfer in this. Like, I wanted him to be, because he's the threat, which is fair, because, what was it, he's the herald for Galactus. He finds planets for Galactus to eat. So it makes sense that he would be the villain early on.
Triple combo, bitch.
But I just wanted a little bit more character development from him. Instead, they lean on the whole Johnny. Johnny's really, because I think that actor was getting bigger, Chris Evans.
Yeah.
So it's all about him like getting all their powers. They gave the Silver Surfer some weird power.
Finally got rid of Guile, man. He was fucking.
So, well, they mixed the two stories. They did the Coming of Galactus, and then the story where Dr. Doom gets Silver Surfer's powers.
Right.
They mix both of those. So yeah, the Silver Surfer, like I just watched the first episode where they explain all these powers. Like, you'll shoot energy, you'll move really fast, you can survive in space, and all this. At no point does Galactus go, you'll change the weather. And if people were hit by a similar cloud,
radiation
you will alter them a little bit. For example, you will make one of them switch powers with the other three, and you will make a metal guy come back to life. And then if you hit him with one of your energy blasts, you'll actually fix his face.
It's not great writing, but I think it is science that you just don't know anything about anything ever at all, and stuff just happens to you. I really like how soon.
Oh, they got a spiral too.
Pathetic to the Silver Surfer. I like it, but it comes so late in the movie. Yeah, and it's the only purpose Alicia Masters' character has to offer this franchise, and she didn't do it. So yeah, he's supposed to or it would be an easier entryway for him to bond with an outsider of the culture. He's like, I don't see why life's beautiful. She's like, I don't see it all. But let me tell you why life is beautiful. Yeah. And that's important and cool in the cartoon.
Instead, Alicia's just there.
Yeah, the beginning and end.
Just there.
He's just feeling up all over Ben.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
the big thing is
I was barely pulled off that W.
Now I like that. Yeah. That's where I agree.
W chat, W.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Now, what wedding do you think was better? This one or the Roger Corman one where he's in his super suit and he has a wobbly arm waving?
The wobbly that one's better. That one is a better wedding, but it's just like a better comic. Like, you can imagine that would be a comic page.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm sure that is a comic page somewhere with his hand out waving. Yeah. This wedding had like an angry bouquet,
Oh, that's at the end. The bouquet's at the end. So yeah, they have the wedding, the Silver Surfer.
It's interrupted right there.
Yeah, he like attacks the wedding, and then Johnny has to, which was the trailer for the movie.
Yeah.
It was the wedding.
Yeah, Reed's been tracking him, and Reed's got a little device that said, oh, he's in New York.
And it's just like, every time that he like flies around the Earth, it gets cold, and all the electricity just stops.
Yes.
He just literally slowing down.
But then sometimes
just different things. Yeah, sometimes it's cold, sometimes the electricity stops.
Yeah, and then
It's not consistent.
And then sometimes he's liquid metal. He can phase through things.
Yeah. Well, Terminator was really good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the chase with Johnny Storm again was a lot of fun. And again, the teaser.
Cammy's whooping my ass.
Like,
Holy shit, Cammy.
That's fine. His powers are
Fuck you, bitch.
At least he looks like the Silver Surfer.
Oh my god. That was brutal.
They wreck on it where like all his power comes
These
from the
fucking
board,
swords,
which I did
bitch.
like.
Right. Because the board can be broken and stuff. The board's like a thing, but it's not like his ultimate source to be all and all of.
Yeah.
He's eventually separated from the board, and he goes from this like really watery silver texture over him to just like a more dull, less shiny, less wet silver texture.
That's when it becomes like a practical effect, like in a suit. Probably touched up digitally here and there. But yeah, so then Dr. Doom actually has a plan this time.
Yes, get out of here, bitch.
Well, kind of. Okay,
Damn,
so
I got 2 more people. It's insane. This is getting harder.
They don't. They literally.
Venom is trash. This whole team is trash. Can't wait to lose, actually.
Which is him getting away from any consequences. Like,
yeah. And then they go, yeah, just throw him in the attic up there. And then he comes back to life. We see like his ancestors.
It's like, I'm sorry, I know that this is a sensitive idea, but there are like museums with Nazi memorabilia, like bad guy things. Yeah. Why wouldn't he be in one of those? He's a world famous New York City now bad guy. Like, there's got to be like a museum that he would have been in.
Yeah.
Not just carving.
Well, no, Latveria, he was like a beloved person in Latveria. He's not like.
Why isn't he in a museum there then?
Yeah, he's not like a leader in this one though.
Nobody's a billionaire.
Yeah, but like all the other versions, he's like the leader of Latveria.
In
like the comics,
he's not a leader in the Corman, you know.
Well, he is in the Corman one. Or it's implied.
Well, he's just like a crazy guy in a castle, isn't he?
I guess so, but in the comics, he's like the head of.
Well, in the comics, it's outright like, yeah, he's the political family of the
pick
country.
one last good
and this
team.
It just feels like he is famous over there.
And he just lives over there.
And I probably get it. End it.
But yeah, the makeup for him was really, really cool. And apparently the studio hated it, so they made sure he was covered most of the time. But yeah, then the surfer heals his face.
Yeah, that felt like, what are we doing with Julia McMahon?
They were like, we don't want him in the makeup the whole time. Just do it in the beginning, and then he gets hit. But yeah, Dr. Doom's plan is to get the board and then fly around and blow things up. But the world's about to end.
Galactus, doesn't he? Huh? Doesn't he kind of think he could just defeat Galactus once he has the board?
He doesn't make any effort to.
I find it really fun that while they're focused on the Silver Surfer being like such a bad enemy or whatever, he's like, hey, actually I'm not the enemy, I'm the one here to warn you that there's somebody here to eat your planet. And
well, no, he's not. He's letting him eat the planet.
Well, no, it's twofold, right? He does call
He led them there.
Like, he's not hiding.
Well, he lets him know why he's doing it.
Yeah, when Sue asks.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just so funny because they're so distracted on that, and you get like dramatic irony that knowing it's still Galactus, and like, you guys are so focused on the wrong things. You guys should be focusing on something else, like, I don't know, creating a guy who eats planets destroyer or something.
They have to make a
laser.
They have to make They have to make the
Ultimate Nullifier.
What was it called? The comic, the Ultimate Neuralizer.
Nullifier.
Make something
the neutralizer.
Yeah, something like that. He's gotta make
The Ultimate Nullifier. Damn it.
Prison too, right? Like his own family.
But yeah, the Ultimate Nullifier, MacGuffin.
Which doesn't exist. Or
Jack Kirby MacGuffin.
Which they've never done. They haven't done any of the movies.
I love when we named Phantom Zone from Superman.
I know.
Neutral Zone from Star Trek, and then we eventually got to Negative Zone.
Well, it's all the same shit, dog. So Xander Nova has a boy.
Oh yeah, and then they, for whatever reason, they put Frankie Ray in this, who becomes like a herald of Galactus, but she's like a lady.
That was funny.
She doesn't want to bang the Human Torch. That's her character in this movie. A woman who doesn't want to bang.
She's like, I guess she was like a model they were trying to make
That
an
is
actress
true.
at that point. And she's an angry military lady.
Yeah. They could have done Nova in this, Harold Nova.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a weird setup there.
Shouts out to Nova. New Warrior.
The third one, they would have used her.
That's when he was.
You know, because
That's when he was my favorite.
Well,
He was on the team, the New Warrior.
So they wanted to do a Silver Surfer movie. So in a way, this was like their
Fuck, Cable, get it together.
Surfer.
Rise of the Silver Surfer, so that he can do his own stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
Let's just change the title.
Doctor Doom looks more like Doctor Doom, but the colors are wrong. He's all black. It's like, no, just color it a little bit.
Yeah. Cable guy.
Yeah. But yeah, then when
You know, match for the Unibeam Wolverines.
Breathe in, receive my enlightenment in through your nose, out. No phones during Asana.
Yeah. As soon as I complete this level of Royal Kingdom.
This is for relaxation.
Cable
Royal
guy.
Kingdom. It's the new puzzle game. Sometimes easy, sometimes hard, but always satisfying. It takes my mind to a whole new level. Plus, there are no ads or nasty pop-ups to take you out of the moment. I've never been.
No.
This is underlining of our chakras.
You're underlining the chakras.
I want to play.
It's over for you, Wolvie. Good night.
Be quiet, Mark.
Night, night,
It
bitch.
melts him, and then he's just
Yeah.
make water go up in the air, and
Yeah,
he can explode them out. And it's like, why don't you just explode their cars?
Is his lightning power supposed to be storm related, and that's why we think cosmic energy does storms?
I don't know. He barely has
Oh,
the
Silver
lightning
Surfer?
power. He uses it a few times.
He really has it anymore now.
The power
Then he
cosmic.
gets the Silver Surfer power. He's like, I'm just gonna shoot energy beams.
Yeah.
Blow up things.
I just think he's just trying to find the most evil thing he could do that he can think of at that moment.
But it's really not like he's even like going.
He's in his head like it's like Star Wars.
Shit.
Yeah.
But I love that they're like, the world is gonna end, and he's like, I have all the power now. It's like, yeah, but someone's about to eat the world, and he's just like, I'll take care of it. It's like, Hal, you're wasting time with the Fantastic Four. You should be going to space.
I've always wanted power.
And he goes, I don't really like sharing power. It's like, well, you should go to space and fight Galactus. Why are you wasting time with the Fantastic car?
And that's very out of Doom's character, though. That's the part of his character assassination.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom would just be like, yeah, I defeated Galactus. Reed's an idiot.
Yeah.
But just to get it over on Reed.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to
That's
defeat
the thing.
Galactus.
He never has like a really big plan. It's always just, I'm gonna get power. I'm gonna kill the Fantastic Four. It's like, that's it. You're not trying to do like.
Very Sinister Six. Like, I was gonna kill Spider-Man. That's
Obviously,
my only motive.
try to kill the Fantastic Four, but it feels like he should have something else he's building up.
He's never trying to kill the Fantastic Four. He tries the first couple times, and then he spends 20 years fucking with Reed.
Yeah.
And like ruining their dates.
But it really
Stuff like
should
that.
be. It like, you know, let's take like the Spider-Man movies. It's like Doc Ock was supposed to make Sun Machine. He has to kill Spider-Man because Spider-Man's trying to stop him.
Right.
Like that's it. But like Doctor Doom is just, I want to kill the Fantastic Four. I don't even care the planet. Honestly,
I want to kill Fantastic Four because they gave me all the power I've always wanted.
Yes.
And I feel so cool now.
And I'm jealous of Reed. I will fight him and kill him before the world ends, even though I could probably just wait. I could probably survive.
Not involved himself. The world would have probably ended.
Yeah.
Had Victor gone, ha, look at these schmucks.
And Dr. Doom will survive in space. He can do it.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so there's good stuff in here, but the Silver Surfer interacting with the team is a little rushed at the end. It's like in the back of the movie, really, really rushed. I feel like him and Sue, I like where they were going, where he had a connection with her because he misses his wife, because he's doing this to spare his planet.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to see some of
That's
that.
some bullshit. How do you block
Silver
that
Surfer,
shit?
why didn't we get a flash for then? So I hope it never happens in a different movie.
Started on that.
I really like when I really like I like seeing everybody switch with Johnny's powers. That's fun.
Yeah.
Like you see Sue, she's like floating in the air and she's on fire. She's freaking out. She's like, I'm on
Because
fire.
we had to get her out of her clothes, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm on fire. Ah! Like,
Can I borrow your powers?
yeah.
Well, he's invisible now.
I know, it's crazy, and I'm like ultra strong.
Damn, that's brutal.
I guess he's just really, really quiet too. Anyway, Mint, Riley, feel free to interject whenever you want. I know being invisible is probably a shock in your speechless, but anyway, Mint, yes, I like when Johnny is flying and he bumps into Reed and Reed's all over the Ferris wheel. He turns into fire, but Johnny falls, he's all rubbery and weird looking.
Yeah, he can't control. He's flat against the ground or something.
But it is weird when Ben switches powers with him. And he's like, I'm back to my old self. And it's like, well, at the end of the last movie, Reed said he could do that for you, and you said, don't worry about it. So why do you want to be back to your old self now?
I think he's just constantly insecure, and he's like, nah, man, I'm not insecure. I'm okay with it. And he's like, oh, man, I can't believe it. I'm like a rock monster. And he's like, no, I'm okay. I'm all right.
But then there's also, there's this other struggle where, Reed and Sue are trying to get married. They're trying to have a normal life, but Reed is addicted to work and keeps fucking it up. So there's a struggle. They're like, hey, after this, let's leave the team. And Johnny and Ben know about that, and they feel betrayed. So they all have to come together at the end. And I like how it leads up to, Johnny has to use all their powers, so he's, invisible and stretchy and with the rock, which is, the Super Scroll.
It would be really cool if Reed had all of their powers, because then he could just do literally anything he could think of.
Yeah.
What if he was a stretchy man rock guy? Who could go on fire and turn invisible?
The scroll.
That would be really cool. Because I also like seeing Reed's application of the
Scroll.
fire, because, when he gets...
Scroll.
When he gets Johnny's power...
Oh, I'm sorry, in the middle of your sentence, he turned uninvisible, right?
Yeah, you didn't have to do a force field over my mouth the whole time.
Can I have my powers back?
No, we already did that. I already gave you your powers back. That's why you can see me again.
No, you didn't do that yet.
Or you didn't see it happening because I was invisible and then with the force field over my mouth so I couldn't talk.
Can we try this
Anyway,
again?
as we were.
Wait, so what were you saying about, Johnny getting all the powers?
I really like seeing Johnny get all of the powers, and especially seeing Reed using his powers, because he's just going to think, oh, I could use this hot and fuse metal together and get this.
He's like a genius.
This fairy wheel just no longer falling. And I'm like,
well, there would be no movie if Reed got everyone's powers. Yeah, Johnny, and you're like, oh, I am Mr. Fantastic after all.
The weird thing is, that Johnny has to learn to fly in the first one.
Yeah.
And then here, Sue and Reed get the powers. They're flying right away.
Yeah. Well, because he's insecure.
Yeah.
See, he wants to be a pilot, but he has imposter syndrome.
No,
so it's hard for him to take off.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's all a compensation thing. It's all personality based. Psychoanalyze the shit out of these characters. Yeah. Batman's afraid of rats that fly. It's like that.
So yeah, the movie's fine, but again, Galactus.
Holy shit.
Enough people like me bitch. But we bitched too late because we didn't know ahead of time. I feel like I read something years ago that was just they almost retconned it where Galactus was.
Alright guys, that's gonna do it for the stream.
That's a little too much.
I'll probably be back later tonight for
good idea.
Play some Punisher, beat 'em up.
What the fuck?
The beat 'em up side-scrolling Punisher game. Probably do a stream about that later tonight. Keep in mind, HEADZ, my debut comic book with art by Christian Rossi, is being published. 60-page hardback. Announcements coming soon. Stay alert. Yeah. Future of indie comics. Glacier. Ow. Yeah.
He's gonna be in the movie. And then you get to it. The Silver Surfer, who we learn at any time could have blown up Galactus and just never did. Or maybe he just didn't know it would work, but now he has the confidence to do it. Maybe is that what we're led to imply? Anyway,
yeah,
Silver Surfer.